Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra.
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth-telling, more problem-solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. What a beautiful day. Everybody giving thanks this morning. Thanks to be alive. Thanks to be healthy, as far as we all know. Thanks for another amazing day. Yes. Wow. I'm happy because it's Friday. And because, you know what? Could be worse. No matter what you're going through, trust me, there's somebody else out there with far worse struggles than you. So look at the bright side, stay positive. Yep, honey chill. Big shout out to Dr. Naranjan, senior orthopedic surgeon at HSA. I went to see him again yesterday. I know you guys are thinking, what on earth? Sandy's falling apart. Well, you know, when you get to be a certain age, honey child, things start to creak along a little bit differently. And a couple of years ago, I had torn meniscus in that left knee. And so I watch it very carefully. When I play pickleball, I make sure I wear a brace and everything. And last week, I've been kind of feeling it more than not. So decided to go in and see him about it. Took some x-rays and yeah, boy, he saw a few things. Kneecap isn't where it should be. I was like, what the heck? But we're thinking a little bit of physio will certainly help. You got to strengthen the leg and stretch it. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the good doctor's advice, lose some weight. You know, that's always going to help when it comes to these joints, honey child. We got to get the weight under control. Get back on that bicycle. Big shout out to Craig Marin this morning as well. Craig, you up? Are you watching any Olympics? I know you're probably excited about the cycling. So, yeah. So despite the little aches and stuff, you know, still thankful, rolling up on the next birthday coming August the 18th. So look at that. So much to be thankful for. So listen, honey child, what a hot mess. We got a lot to talk about. I see your Instagram folks want some sus this morning. I can tell based on your numbers when y'all wake up with sus on your mind. You're like, we see who Sandy has featured and we want to know all about it. Well, I'm going to tell y'all what I know. My goodness. I tell you what. What to do. Well, I tell you what. One thing I know is Aunt Lottie might have been a little bit crazy, or even a lot crazy, but she did her best. And, you know, at the end of the day, she, did I say Naranjan at HSA? Lord Jesus, no, I'm so sorry. HCCI, Health City, Cayman Islands. Child, I know HSA wish that they could get him. Hot tamales. He is so good. He explains everything. He's amazing with his explanations. But yeah, he's at Health City. Sorry, HSA. Can't help you there. Man. He takes out his little diagrams and he shows you stuff on the x-ray and showed me what this little spot means and where the knee is supposed to be, where the kneecap is supposed to be. I was like, wow, this is so fascinating. I love that he takes the time to explain things to you. Anyway, my apologies. Sorry, HSA. He might be part of the dream team, but you know, he's over at Health City. Yeah. And actually they're expanding their orthopedic department. He's always so busy, but he certainly does make time. He had more surgeries again yesterday. And then I saw a lady from the Bahamas who had both knees done. And I was like, bless her. Anywho, let's move on. So, woo, honey, what's going on here? Why are we so close to the camera today? I know we made some adjustments yesterday, but I think hold on. Oh, were we this close yesterday? Ooh, honey, child, we need to zoom it out a little bit. Yes, maybe that much. Y'all see my Mall Road sign, Cayman Mall Road sign on the door right there. Cayman Mall Road. All right. Yeah, I think maybe I didn't have any shoes on yesterday because my head wasn't quite that high. Or we could just go back to this one, which is zoomed out quite a bit more. Then you get all the fun stuff in the background, the printer, part of the law degree, part of the other degree. All right, listen. Aunt Lottie used to say, honey child, if it ain't yours, don't touch it. It's really, really important to not put your hat higher than you can reach. She taught you all these things about really at the core was honesty, right? Listen, you got in more trouble for telling a lie than doing the thing. I mean, listen, when you got caught, you might as well just have been like, listen, okay, I did it. Fall on your sword, like I said, admit to it. And you were still gonna get in trouble now, mind you. She wasn't she took her disciplining very, very seriously, honey child. Oh, I got some epic ones back in the day. But it was worse if you lied about it. Because invariably the lie was always found out. We had a bit of a psychic connection with each other, because boy, I remember so many times, ironically, I'd be in church. She'd send me to church, boy, with those nasty old men trying to look at my bubbies. I'd be like, hello, sir. Mr. Deacon, my eyes are up here, not down here. Y'all are in church, nasty little things. Lord, don't get me started with them this morning. But anyway, she'd send me along, go to Sunday school, go to church, sit there. This was the day before cell phones, so we kind of had to pay attention to the sermon. And I'd be sitting there, and all of a sudden, it would occur to me when she just found out that I did something. Like, I mean, the minute she found out, I knew it. I was like, ooh, honey child, there's gonna be assing after church today. Let me just pray for forgiveness since I'm already here. But if you tried to lie, honesty was really a big thing with her. If you tried to lie your way out of it, you were going to get it like 10 times as bad. So after a while, I was just like, yep, I did it. So what? I started to confess the stuff I didn't even do. I was like, listen, if you think I did it, I don't care anymore. I'll just say that I did it because I can't be bothered. Like that's how bad it got when I was like, I'm ready to move the hell out of here now, Auntie. You done lost the plot. Having said that, so many of our young people, unfortunately, grow up being dishonest, and they have no ability to, to regulate themselves. So if they see something, it's like you want something, you can work hard for it. You can do certain things for it. But what you can't do is you can't steal. You can't sell drugs. You can't, I don't know what else they'd be doing, but yeah, I'm just like, you can't, that's not how you can get it. Yeah. They missed the memo. So this morning, I'm sure you guys saw, we have a young lady featured, and I don't know who this young lady is. Somebody told me her papa's this one and mama's this one. I don't know. Cayman, that's how we make connections. Unfortunately, I don't know who the papa or the mama is. So, I wish I could tell y'all more, except I'm going to tell you what I do know. It's a very, very sad situation. But again, it seems like this is a young lady who is going down a really destructive path because she's missing an honesty gene. Wow. What a mess. Oh, yeah. When you're dishonest, it'll manifest itself in different ways, right? So you lie about stuff, like you lie about people, you lie about situations, you steal. Like it just will manifest itself in all different kind of ways. So when I heard about a young lady yesterday who was caught bringing in drugs that works Cayman Airways, I was like, first of all, she can't be that bright. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, shoot. My apologies. I forget to send out the link to the group, to the channel. One second. My apologies. Good grief. Hold on now. Hold on, honey chill. I'm sure they want to get that this morning. There we go. So, yeah, at the end of the day, really feel like I don't know this young lady, but you could replace her face with so many other faces of young people and older people who just are making pretty poor decisions in their lives. And it all centers around just being dishonest and not always thinking things through. Now, allegedly, she was being watched. You know, Aunt Lottie also said what's done in the dark comes to light. And a lot of times you think that you're doing something and you're getting away with it and you have no idea. Time longer than rope, and that rope soon run out. It's just a matter of time. I've always found it peculiar, right? Especially with people who like steal and import drugs. Like you get away with it one time. Don't you think you would just stop? Can somebody explain to me, is it like a rush or something? Like what is it? Why once you've done something once and you've gotten away with it, or you think you've gotten away with it, because like I said, eventually it'll catch up with you. But you weren't caught in the moment. Why do you keep doing it? Like I've never understood. I see people steal from like banks and organizations. I'm like, okay, they stole the one time. You know, nobody might have noticed it, went under radar, and then they can't stop. They can't help themselves. They're a serial thief. They just keep going. I'm just like, why? Stop. Miss Lucille said she's early for class this morning. So, yeah, they don't stop and they just continue. And it seems like that's this young lady. She's had a history. Because, you know, came out small after all, and people can talk about it. So in case you don't know who we're talking about, and I reckon there's over 500 of you here for a reason, because you're all like, we want to know who she is. Let me show you her picture. Hold on. A few of you sent me her picture and you were trying to tell me who her pappy is and so on. So I appreciate it because I still don't know who she is. But anywho, that's often the case with me, child, because I don't really know people like that. She's not a bad looking girl, whoever she is. Where's she from? East End, I think, I'm told. She has East End connections. Her dad is some Smith. And her mama, where's her mom from? Her mom is from East End? She looked like she might be some kind of Honduran, Bay Islander mix-up situation. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures of her. Her name is, hold on one second now. Let me tell y'all. Oh, Lord, hold on. What her name is again? Let me get it correct. Her name is Akira. Such an interesting name. Pretty name. But dirty ways. So Miss Akira loves to obviously look the part, but somebody forgot to tell her that you can't look the part by stealing from people or by importing drugs into the Cayman Islands. Poor ting. She's gonna be going to jail now. She already been to jail. Now she's gonna be going to jail again. Looking pretty in jail. I bet you she's not gonna dress like that in jail. Child, that might be a disastrous situation. Oh, yeah. What a hot mess. So, the street was talking yesterday about a Cayman Airways stewardess that got caught importing drugs. CBC collected her. She's locked up, they say, for importing drugs into the Cayman Islands. I say, ooh-wee. Who would be so stupid? And then somebody sent me her pictures. And I thought, honey child, you need Jesus. I mean, she is a pretty girl. You have to admit, right? Right? She's pretty. but something not clicking in the head. I can tell you that. There she is. I feel like I've seen her on the plane when I see this picture. I feel like I've seen her on a flight before. Always the eyebrows on point. The little baby hairs and the wig on point. Wow. Okay. But none of that matters if you're not an honest person, if you're going to destroy your life by bringing drugs into the Cayman Islands. I mean, wow, what a hot mess. So, unfortunately for her, my sources tell me that they had been watching her for a minute. They were like, "Ooh, Sandy, let me tell you something. She may have thought she was getting away with it, but she was on their radar." And I thought, y'all think CBC not got no sense. Y'all sit there and mess with them. Big shout out to CBC. I think the official retirement has occurred for Mr. Charles Clifford. He's just wrapping a few things up, but he's out. And the new guy, who's the new guy again? Is it Bruce Smith? Is that his name? Anyway, he's in. My understanding, he has officially taken over the post. So let's talk a little bit about who she is and what she's been up to, because apparently somebody say, yeah, she's pretty stupid. Let's talk about this young lady, because apparently, like I said, she has a history of thievery and dishonesty. So she used to work A.L. Thompson's, and by the way, she no longer works there. They had to fire her for stealing. Go figure. Lord Jesus. She was sentenced to 3 months with a suspended sentence of 2 years back in 2019. And apparently she had stolen goods from them. Wow. Not only is she a thief, but she clearly does not value her workplace. I mean, when you're in a little job, y'all be complaining about how hard it is for Caymanians to get jobs and this and that. And when you get in there, what you don't do is you don't mess yourself up. You try to stay on the right side of the law. My goodness. Don't steal from your employers. It'd be bad enough y'all won't be on these streets fighting at Carnival and all this kind of foolishness. But at least leave your employer out of the mess. So, suspended sentence, 2019. I guess that's over now because that was 2 years, but she's probably still gonna go to jail. She's not affiliated with A.L. Thompson's obviously anymore because they fired her, and she had to pay them back for some of the goods that she stole. I don't know what she was stealing from them, but my goodness. What are you going to steal? Backyard furniture? Exactly. What are you trying to steal from A.L. Thompson's, girl? You must be crazy. Stealing a plant? Anyway, they fired her. Then she went to Cayman Airways. Cayman Airways, unfortunately for them, didn't do any background checks, is what I'm hearing. Wonk, wonk, wonk. HR, y'all need to be checking things out now. Come on. I know every Caymanian who's ever applied to Cayman Airways is now sitting there saying, you see? You wouldn't hire me, but look who you got and hire this old crook. This old thief. Now look what she's doing. Embarrassing y'all. So sources say that she's been there a couple years. I guess she went from A.L. Thompson's to Cayman Airways. And once again, they've been following and paying attention to her because the movement's been kind of sketchy. What a mess. Anywho, they finally nabbed her. Somebody in HR need to go sit there behind down because they don't know what they're doing. They finally nabbed her. Now, we don't know what quantities are yet or anything of the sort. Early stages in our investigation. So who is she? What a hot mess. Gabby says, hey, not all of us. I know. I'm not trying to put Caymanians in the same bag because, like everybody else, Abby says all humans can be bad. It's up to you to decide your path. Yeah, everybody, you got good and bad everywhere, I must say, though, that I think a lot of our Caymanians really demonstrate that our people don't have no sense. And this isn't something new. We could go back in history and see the amount of people, our own people, who have been importing drugs, who've gone to jail for it, money laundering way back in the day. And they love to get these stewardess jobs and jobs with the airline, thinking that, I don't know, that's going to give them easy access. It's an embarrassment to a national airline for people like this to be working for them. Terrific, actually. Well, I love me Cayman Airways, but y'all got to be careful who you're hiring. And I know Cayman Airways like, Sandy, we be trying to give them a chance because, they claim that we're not hiring Caymanians and this and that. And, we give them a chance and then look at what they do. They mess it up for everybody else. So apparently, whoever Akira is, who was running down? Who? Oh, that's another show, honey chow. Oh my God. Everybody tell me who she bringing in the drugs for. Lord have mercy. Who's the brother of so-and-so and so-and-so? We can pass that on to the Popo, honey chow. We're not going to read that one on the radio. The Popo might be interested in knowing a little bit more about that situation. Well, I don't know how bright she is, but maybe she'll fall on her sword. And somebody said, I had to produce a police record when I applied. You see, I wonder because it was suspended. Listen carefully now. That's why sometimes a police record isn't enough. When it was suspended, it doesn't go on your record. It probably was just, 3 months prison suspended. That wouldn't go on your record. So she can still get a clean police record. They need to do more than that. That's why you pick up the phone, you send an email, tickety tick, to the former employer, tell us what's going on. This reminds me of when the young lady stole, well, she was, I should say, she got away with it. A jury found her not guilty. I don't know how they did that, but I know that she was the one who stole from my business. But she was kind of slick how she did it. All of a sudden, she went on a spending spree. Somebody who couldn't even pay their rent could go and buy iPad from, what was the computer store back in the day? Oh, God. The one there that David Shibley owns. Can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, this is when they were in Walker's Road. Remember? And she went there on a shopping spree and was buying all kind of stuff. I said, the worst thing for me is people who steal and still don't have no sense. They're not stealing to make an investment in their education. They don't steal money to like, oh, let me pay my college tuition or better myself in that way. They're stealing to go buy a laptop and an iPad and new phones and stupid stuff that don't make no sense. I mean, at least use it to improve your life in a meaningful way if you're going to be a thief. But they don't have that kind of level of sense. Anyway, she had sticky fingers, and little did I know, she used to work at the Westin. The Westin let her go for stealing. And this brings out a bigger issue of sometimes, because I did call the Westin and they were like, oh, she's just no longer with us. They didn't tell me. I would have appreciated back in the day, Westin, if y'all had told me why she was no longer there. Because she was in your accounts department, studying accounts and still stealing. Because I would have never hired her. She lucky it wasn't my money she stole. We were a like an agent for Money Express, and she stole their money. Like $9,000 or something. Yeah, honey child. Went in there after hours, turned off the alarm, went in the safe, took the money out. And the Popo were so stupid, telling me that they couldn't fingerprint the bag. I'm like, even to me, no better than that, honey child. I watch CSI. Of course you can fingerprint a bag. You do the whole glue thing. You put it in a controlled environment and you lift the prints with glue. What donkey don't know that? That's detective work 101. They're so ridiculous. It happened on the weekend. They're like, oh, we can't come till Monday. That CID don't work until Monday. They work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I was just like, oh, God. This was a long time ago. Anywho, I digress. But you know, they say you can get away with it for only so long, and eventually it's going to catch up with you. So, Akira, honey child, looks like it caught up with you. So, someone said that, somebody said the Popo did 2 raids in East End yesterday. Interesting. So someone just said she is the one that was engaged to the artist Intent's brother after 3 weeks of knowing him. You spoke about it on your show a while back. Oh, really? Okay. Then she really don't have no sense. Wow. What a hot tamale. My goodness. Wow. No, sir? Oh, my goodness. Wow. So, Akira Smith. What an embarrassment. I mean, I don't know her folks. They're probably, you know, good people and everything. I don't really know anything about them, but man, she's really, really embarrassing her organization that she works for. She is embarrassing her community, even the dance hall community, which she's probably very much a part of. They're probably sitting here this morning going, oh, now she's making all of us look bad as well. Ladies, let me have a word with you. I want y'all to come a little bit closer, okay? Thank you, John LaRue, Simply Computers. That was the name of it back in the day, yes. Come a little bit closer. Didn't it have another name before Simply Computers, though? It was before it was Simply Computers. It was something else. And then I think him and the wife broke up, and then he started it on his own, and that's when he moved to West Shore. But when it was on Walker's Road, it was called something else. I can't remember now. But I think the name change came after. But same place, really. All right. Gather along. Come. I want the young ladies to come a little bit closer. Now, y'all with the pretty faces, who always want to have the beat faces and the eyebrows on point like this, I need you to come a little bit closer. If you have a pretty face, come closer. Even if you have a not so pretty face, please come closer, because we need to talk about it. Right? We need to talk about how you will be targeted by men who are just looking to use you. All right? They see you get a little job, Cayman Airways. They're thinking that you can bring in goods and walk through that airport, and no one is going to be watching you. Well, honey child, I don't know what you thought that for. CBC watches everybody. Well, they need to watch some of them politicians a little bit more, please and thank you. But they watches most of us. They watch your movements. Why you always going to Miami? You ain't got no money to be buying nothing else. Thank you, Gareth. That's when it was PC Powerhouse. That's right, honey child. So they're going to approach you because they might feel like you're a little bit light in the head and you're desperate for affection and acceptance and whatever. And so they are going to use you. Don't let anybody, I mean, come on, young lady. When you're sitting up in jail, you think any of them men can come and visit you, girl? They're not coming to visit you. They're going to pick up your best friend as the next girlfriend. And as the next girl, they're going to try to use to bring in drugs for them. Do not. This is life lesson 101. Right? Don't break the laws for yourself, and definitely don't do it for anybody else. Oh, no. There's a saying, I can be bad all by myself. I can do badness all by myself. The reason why people say that is because they don't need anyone else to encourage them to be bad, to be handing these guys your paycheck, to be bringing in drugs for them so that they can be out in the streets flossing and whatever. And it's going to be you sitting up in jail when you get caught. Do not do it. Good morning, Mr. Dean.
Good morning, Auntie Sandra. How are you doing today?
Not too bad, honey child. How are you? I'm trying to teach these young ladies how to do better.
Yeah, you don't know where the flight was coming in from that she won?
Probably Miami. I mean, I don't reckon she was going too far.
It had to been pills. Then it coming in from Miami into Cayman, so they caught her in Cayman.
Oh yes. So
it had to be pills. It couldn't be nothing else that she bringing in, because that would be stupid if they're bringing in stuff, bringing in cocaine or weed from the from United States into Cayman.
I tell you that
you're not gonna get no money. The turnover on it is less, and the turnover it is more in the States.
I tell you, they're not too bright. Now listen, Mr. Dean. I never told you that they were bright, you know. I never told you she was smart. I just told you she's cute.
You got a point there. You got a point there.
There's a big difference between being cute and being smart, because if she was smart, she wouldn't be doing this, none at all.
Yeah, well, if she were bringing in flour or weed, that's a stupid move, because then not turnover. It would have had to been a big ring too, that they got plan of it, that they could bring that from that side of the world to this side of the world in the Caribbean.
They so stupid.
So. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and people get intimidated into it and think, you know, maybe they had to twist her arm, or probably not either. So you don't know.
Must be twisting that horse hair. I don't imagine that they twisted her arm. I mean, come on now.
And she's a nice little girl too. I know her when I fly Cayman Airways.
You've seen her? Yeah, I feel like I've probably seen her before. I can't really say that I would have paid much attention.
I know her from flying on Cayman Airways. Yeah.
Wow. Well, she messed up that job. She won't be flying anymore. flying in Fairbanks.
Yeah, I hear you the other morning. You were getting me mixed up with Mr. George. I don't know. Don't get me mixed up with him. Like he's on a different level, different generation, and a different level.
He's the OG.
Yeah, and I'm the young OG. So. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So going back on that case, because I heard the question when he was asking. When a judge make a mistake like that, that's a serious thing. I mean, it's good that he admitted it, but it could be considered in other jurisdictions or the right person to make the argument that it could be an act of corruption too. I mean, it could be an act of corruption too. He deliberately did it or not. If that were other place, they would have had him step down from his position and all that kind of stuff. Because it isn't. I mean, we're all humans and all make mistakes, but the mistakes comes with consequences, and even him as a judge would have had to take the consequences. If this was another jurisdiction, they would have told him to step down, because it could be looked at like corruption.
Well, he was just visiting, so he's not a regular sitting judge either. But
exactly, where to get these people from other places to come in here for this kind of thing, that could be corruption too. They probably got him in here or that could be one of the reasons that argue as one of the reasons why they bring him in there, because if he make a mistake, it's considered an act of corruption, and not gonna be no penalties to watch.
Well, I mean, we can't go as far as saying corruption without evidence of it. I mean, that would be a serious allegation against the court. But anyway,
but I'm just saying,
they're humans. They're humans.
Yeah,
they're humans. So what can you do?
Yeah. All right, then have a good day.
Thank you so much, my dear.
All
right. Well, this young lady has really, and again, for the benefit of any doubt, let us be clear that she is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So, there's that. Somebody at Dakota Eden said, "Who's she for?" Well, I'll tell you who she for. Now, I don't really know these people, So you'll have to forgive me for not knowing the connections. So apparently her daddy, this is, I can just tell you how I got it, Caymanian style. Now, you know. Her daddy is brother to Perry Smith. Perry got killed by a garbage truck years ago. I believe her daddy plays music. Her daddy name is Bud Smith. Used to work fire station. His right name is Marlon Smith. Now how Caymanians gives it to you, honey child. So who's her boyfriend? Because people saying she's bringing it in for the boyfriend. I don't know. Fool. Definitely not a boyfriend worth that, honey child. And then her mama, I didn't get a name, but the mother looks like she could be from Honduras. Or Jamaica. Either one. It's hard to tell. So yeah. So that's how she's a Smith. Oh Lord, now we're getting all the personal information about what she's doing. It was Woodrow Smith who was killed by the garbage truck in 1987. Oh gosh, I wasn't even here. I was a little bitty thing then. Oh shoot. So somebody say not sure, but her name is Omijin. Oh, that don't really sound like a Jamaican name, I can be honest with you. We're going to make some wide assumptions this morning, but the mama, that name don't sound too Jamaican to me. Imujin, she's probably from the Bay Islands, honey chill. Them Hondurans, sometimes they get a little bit interesting with the names. Good morning, Miss Jan. How are you? She be flying low now, says Ingrid. Lord have mercy. What a heat. Emojine is from East End. Mother and father are both Caymanians. Oh, she's a Caymanian with that name? Well, that's interesting, but there you go. She looks like she could be a Bay Islander or a East Ender for true. She definitely looks like, yeah, I mean, all right. So they're both from East End? Both parents are from East End? Ooh, East End not looking too good this morning. So she's a Caymanian times 2. Mama and daddy. Oh, they must be so embarrassed. Oh, Lord. What do you do when your kids embarrass you? Oh, Jesus. Sometimes you feel like all you can do is pray, but you gotta put in the work and start from day one, trying to raise them not to embarrass you. But some of these children, no matter how hard you work, boy, they gonna do what they gonna do in life. Well, I'm sure her Caymanian parents will be there to visit her in Fairbanks. Yeah, man, Caymanian's good like that still. They're gonna take us some turtle meat on a Sunday and make sure that she's all right, that she's not losing too much weight up in prison. She might be able to get that hair done quite like that. Do they still do the beautician school there at Fairbanks? All right, let's see what Instagram is saying. Instagram, folks, got some comments going on. Good morning to you all out there in the Cayman Islands. Have a great weekend, says Carrie Dean. Thank you, Carrie. We got Ellie and Delilah, or is that Delijah? Says Cayman Airways is biased and they hire who they want. Shake my head. Good morning to Connor. Mindy, business 321 say, hush your mouth, love chat too much. Well, I don't know, Mindy, who you talking to, honey child. But you can't be talking to us and sitting here listening to the show with 140 other people, because why would you be here? Don't be silly. That's what the show is for. It's for chatting and it's for listening. Lord have mercy. People who don't want to hear still sitting here listening to it. Over 700 of you right now. I tell y'all, if this was a conversation about how to pick up a life skill and stuff, y'all wouldn't be here. So let's just admit it. Y'all love a sus and after show. Y'all be begging me for that. Oh, Sandy, please do an after show today so we can hear you say a few words. I'm like, Lord, y'all need to stop it. All right. Just do it to Tim. Who the hell is Tim? Says that's what they love. They don't be watching the YT people, only Caymanian they have strength for. Who's the YT people? What YT people? So who's they? Let me try to understand this. Just do it. Says they don't be watching the YT people, only Caymanian they have strength for. You're referring to CBC? Now come now. Why just do it? If Caymanians wouldn't get themselves mixed up in a situation, y'all wouldn't have to worry about who watching you and who not watching you, and who got time for you and who not got no time for you. Just don't do it. How hard can it be to stay out of trouble? I don't know about y'all, but y'all need to do better. That's no excuse. And to CBC's credit, they be watching all kind of people. Child, I see them come through. I saw a guy Christmas time. I felt so bad for him. He had some gifts that he was bringing for somebody. I don't know. Had it wrapped and everything already. Child, they made him unwrap all those gifts. I was like, honey, child, next time don't bother wrapping them. Just throw them in your suitcase. Give him the receipts or whatever. And he's like, oh, so-and-so, I'm bringing this for so-and-so. And my mom is sending it. Some English American guy. And they were like, open the present, sir. She tried to be nice about how she opened it. She didn't rip it open like it was really Christmas Day. She kind of like peeled off the tape and still opened it. So I'm going to say that I don't think the CBC is biased in that way. You might find one or two officers that are a little bit, on a frolic of their own, but they have a job to do. I try to give them space to do their job. I'll be trying to have my receipts ready. I'm like, here you go, honey, jail. Sometimes I'd be giving them food receipts. I'm like, oh, let me pull that back because I'm not supposed to be paying duty on food. That's already in my belly. And I'm not bringing that back home. All right. So my boy, let's see. Queen's daughter says, what a waste of life when she might just get a slap on the wrist. But she might just get a slap on the wrist. Well, given now that she has been in trouble before, you see, this is what happens. Although she was in probation for 2 years and it was a suspended sentence, the court will now have the ability to take that into consideration as a conviction. Like that comes back live. So she no longer is a person of good character. If she just behaved herself, she might have been, but I think that she might have a problem with that conviction. Now I'm trying to think, since it was already suspended for 2 years. I'll have to think about it once it's outside of the suspended time. But still, the court knows about spent convictions. They pull forward everything. What a hot mess. Just do it to Tim says, yeah, man, she nice. What a hot mess. She's beautiful, says Larita Flames. What a mess. Yeah. Larita, I hear she might be interested in, you girls too. So she might have a good little time in prison for her. Kevin Gerzong in the house. Yep, she from East End, honey child. All right, so Perry Smith plays music. Not sure that Bud does. And yes, it was Mr. Woodrow that got killed by the garbage truck, who would have been her grandfather. Oh, see, y'all bringing it together now. The parts are coming together for the age-old question, who she for? Who her mama is, who her papi is. So Mr. Woodrow would be the grandfather. So she's a multi-generational Caymanian. Oops. No bueno. Oh my God. What does person say? 4 Caymanians glamping at my place, watching and listening. Good morning. Good morning, all the way from Tampa. Hello, honey child. Oh, YT stands for white people? Or did they mean YT? That's what that was? Oh, no. Y'all don't come with the foolishness. CBC loves white people, black people, in between, yellow people, Asian people, Caymanians, non-Caymanians. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I mean, if you don't come in with nothing, what are you going to worry about? So this person says it's not only her. Good morning. Oh, people dropping names. Don't call my name, but so-and-so involved too. I hear that name again. They were looking for him all day yesterday. from West Bay. Ooh, honey child. Y'all know some sauce. So her case might lead to other arrests. I bet you she might be singing like a canary with that pretty face. That's her dad? Oh, I know him. Well, I know of him. Oh, he from East End? Yeah, now I see where she gets her looks from, because he handsome. Yeah, he came in handsome. For real. Still dyeing the hair and everything. Oh my gosh. Aw. What a hot mess. Jeez on peace. No, sir. The Smiths are from town as far as I know. Yeah, man. Oh. Yeah. He plays, is it guitar? Wow. Okay. Yeah. I see where she's getting her looks from now. That makes sense. The mother not a bad looking woman either. What a hot mess. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. Corbin, good morning, says not simply computer guys. It was PC Powerhouse. I worked there until it shut down. Yes, back in the day. Jan says, hey, Rick and Sandy. Who's Rick? Which Rick? She has no Honduran genes whatsoever, says Miss Bonnie. She's saying she 100% came on yun. Take that. 100% Georgetown and East End mix up. Aliana says, I only know one thing. The only shame I bring is from a Hennessy session. Good morning, Mr. Marlin. How you doing, honey child? Is that one of those AI photos? What about the Russian? Caymanians, bro. Yeah. Listen, leave CBC alone for the most part. They're trying to do their job. Like I said, you got one or two that are a little bit like, they be trying to be salty at people. Mostly the women. I find the female officers, they can be a little bit biased, like that one that I had to deal with. What was her name again? Poor her. And I've seen her airport since then, though, because that wasn't normally where she's stationed. What a hot mess. Good morning, Siobhan. Overslept. Poor you. Good morning to Miss Pat. Cayman Kind says, good morning, honey chow and Cayman. Yes, ma'am. Richard, good morning to you from Round Rock, Texas, and happy birthday to your mama. All of 102 years old yesterday. Oh my goodness, Richard, that is so awesome. Love it. Please tell her happy birthday for me. And I wish that she could do, I don't know how much talking she does, but if she wants to do a Cayman Voices segment, please let me know, because we can hook that up. This is Miss Julia Parson. Parson without an S. Caymanians, you have some people that add the S. It's like, what's the other names that do it? Some E-Bankses, some are just E-Bank. We don't have too many of those. We have like banks, E-Bankses. Y'all mix it up a little bit. We have the Rankins with the E, without the E. Y'all be trying to be different. So this is Parson without the S. So happy birthday to your beautiful mama. She looks absolutely beautiful. 102 years old. What a blessing. Wow. Look at that. All right. Happy birthday, ma'am. So, Marshall says, yeah, she's 100% teeth. Caymanian teeth. Imagine if the airport imposed the same dress code as DVDL, so travelers couldn't influence CBC officers with cleavage and short skirts. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's where I've seen him playing. Yep. Her dad plays with Berman Scott. Yeah. Now I know who he is. He's from Georgetown Central. Okay. The Smiths used to live on Mary Street. Yeah, man. Straight up Georgetowners. 1,000%. She probably my cousin. Please do a 23andMe test before you go to prison so Sandy can see if you're family. She's probably related. Ingrid says CBC is doing the job that the police officers are not doing. Leave CBC alone. Good job. CBC getting some love this morning. You keep digging up in those suitcases, honey jail. We need a TV show with CBC Cayman Border Control. Yes. Who stole what? No, Melissa, you're late. You got to come to class on time so you know what's going on. Let's recap. All right. Akita, is it Akita or Akira? What did I say her name was again? Akita Smith has been apprehended for drugs importation, allegedly. Innocent until proven otherwise. Yesterday, big drug bust, and she also works for Cayman Airways as a stewardess. She has a history of thievery. This is just a recap. From when she formerly worked at A.L. Thompson's, who had to fire her. And she got a suspended sentence and then went on to still do more foolishness. So sad. Oh, Akira. I feel like you could probably use a hug in prison, but I won't be visiting. Sorry. Good morning, Linda. Melissa's in the house. Oh, gosh, you know her, Melissa? Melissa's like, OMG, Akira. Like, you can't believe it. Same one, honey chill. All right. Instagram. Let me see what y'all going on with. Josh K-Man says, can we hear the summary of facts before posting someone's face and title? We already heard the summary of facts. If you had showed up on time to class, you wouldn't be asking such silly questions. I'm just saying. Show up on time to class. Talking about the summary of facts. We're still getting more information. So Cayman Airways sent out a message to all staff yesterday informing them that, yes, they were aware of it. First of all, they wanted to clarify she was not working at the time. Let's make that clear. She was using her flight benefits and she was not in uniform. Wait a minute. You can't use your flight benefits and not be in uniform. Yes, you can. You can. You can be on standby, whatever they call it, where you're like, they can choose to, like, if there are seats you can get on type thing. What is that called with Cayman Airways? You Cayman Airways staff have to fill me in on this. I'm trying to remember what it's called. And then you can get on as, whatever reduced rate they get those planes for. Strong Will says, Sandy, you have teeth in your family. I'm sure, like everybody else. Which ones? I'm trying to think. Who do I know in the family that's a thief? Yeah, we got criminals like everybody else. I can't think of anyone right now, but I'm sure. Listen. Don't swear for family. Me? Oh, no. Not me, honey child. I'm only swearing for myself. And even then, sometimes you have to be cautious. So I don't know who those people are. Non-revenue, buddy pass. It's not a buddy pass if you're using it for yourself, though. Yeah, so non-revenue, yeah, they pay like just a tax or whatever, $100, and then they can go. What an embarrassment. Poor Cayman Airways. Good morning, Marco. Siobhan says, I'm not swearing for nobody. I learned that the hard way. Hot mess. Yes, sir. All right, so we'll keep an eye on the case, and as we know more, we'll certainly let you guys know. This person says, oh my God, she belongs to Perry Smith. And imagine from East End. OMG, what a mess. I'm late to class. I have to go back and watch it. Wow. A lot of y'all surprised this morning. Yeah, I'm standby. You mean someone stole from A.L. Thompson's and then they steal every day with the high mark up on what? Oh no. Try and behave. Y'all need to stop it. Actually, to A.L. Thompson's credit, I like to price check. So when I go in there and I see something, I think, okay, let me check it on Amazon. There are times that I have found stuff cheaper in A.L. Thompson's that I do even on Amazon. And I'm like, oh, wonder how they did that. That's some retail magic. So We'll see if we can get the Popo or CBC to issue a formal statement on this. I'm surprised that Cayman Airways hasn't sent out anything formally as yet, but I do know they sent out something internal to staff to let them know that they were aware. And obviously, you know, this looks bad on them. So we'll see if they say anything more. Suspended from work pending a full investigation at this point, I'm sure. That has happened. And then we'll keep y'all updated. So sad. Can you guys believe a bit of reflection this morning? That it has been 2 years since that baby in Cayman Brack. No, Strong Will, you said Akira is your cousin. No, well, y'all pay attention. Lord, I know it's Friday, but you drinking already for happy hour? I said she might be. You know, Georgetowners, Caymanians, all related. So I was saying she should do a 23andMe test because she might be family. I don't think we're related to any of the Smiths, though, now that I think about it. Hold on. Let me tell you if any Smiths show up on my 23andMe test. 23andMe. Hold on. I don't kind of think so. I'm thinking Smiths. I don't know about that. I can look on the phone. Hold on. Let me check the phone app. Somebody said, oh, Sherry Ann is a Smith, but I don't know where she gets that from. Where did she get Smith from? Is that on her mother's side? That's not from her dad. Remember, we related through her father. So, no, man, I don't think we have 23andMe. Hold on. I still won't tell you. Somebody said we all got them in our family. Trust me. Okay. The thing I love about this is you can actually filter it based on names. So let me see here now. Ooh, I'm related to everybody in West Bay. Family names. So I have Ebanks is the number one family that I'm family to. Big shout out to my peeps in West Bay. 109 of them. Bawden's next. Smith. Oh, Jesus, peace. Sure enough, we got 42 Smiths. They're on the list. That's the third most common name. So I guess we could really be family for true. I tell you, boy, can't figure for Cayman. Williams, Johnson, Powell, Thompson, Brown, Simpson, Jackson, Jones, James, Wright. Which Wrights? Miller, Scott, Andersons. Parchment, Banton. I don't even know what name that is. Wattlers are further down. And then Bush. Oh, my Lord. Y'all need, I think every single Caymanian needs to do this 23andMe so we can just get it over with. Like, okay, you're my cousin. Good. Now let's keep talking about you. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, I mean, we got some cousins in there. So I don't know. I don't know who's the Smith connection, but anything's possible. Hold on. Let me see if I can tell you which Smiths now, because then y'all can tell me if that one is connected or not. All right. Hold on, honey child. Okay, Smith. We have 42 of those. So see the 42 relatives. We got, but they're not named Smiths, but they're somehow connected to the Smiths. So we have everybody from Gina, John Rankin. Apparently he's got Smith somewhere in the family. Alexandra, Ruth, Marlene, Lorna Dilbert. She's got some Smiths. They say she's a third to fourth cousin. Alejandro Chisholm, Christy, John Smith, Victoria, Timothy Smith, Nick Smith, Colicia Smith, no clue who these people are. Jordan Smith, Samuel Smith, Natalie Smith. None of these even ring a bell. Yvonne Smith, anybody know these people? A lot of these people don't even live in Cayman. They're like overseas connections. So there you go. This one is a fourth cousin. Okay. Melissa Franklin. Anything's possible. After all, it's the Cayman Islands. Everton says she knew exactly what she was doing. She knows the risk and she decided to go through with whatever it is. Anywho, so that's the consequence. That's the price you pay. Money, 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 greed, 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 greed. And I bet you that she probably was even gaining anything from this. I guess the boyfriend was giving her an extra squeeze or something. I don't know. Let me see here. SS Faint. So just goes to show Cayman Airways hires people for the looks instead of doing background checks. I mean, I must admit, in this case, given the suspended sentence, I'm very, very surprised. Now, Cayman Airways might argue that, they hire young people trying to give them a chance, trying to give them an opportunity. And they're probably thinking to themselves, how can she steal anything? It's not like she's working in the office. She's not working in accounts. What is she going to do? Steal a sandwich out of first class? So, they might have been thinking there was limited opportunity for her to repeat that type of offense at working as a stewardess. Like, what are you going to steal? I don't know. Some of y'all be stealing all kind of stuff. But dishonesty is a trait. It's a character flaw. Everton says looks doesn't have anything to do with her behavior. Miss Bonnie says pains my heart for her and her parents. She grew up in Savannah Meadows, a very nice child. Sad, sad, sad. Aw. Shamar says they changed that. Nobody passed anymore. Melissa says, Sandy, we family, probably. Only God knows. Abby says, you're her fifth cousin. What kind of salary caused her to do this? Were the benefits not enough? Well, Illy, I don't think that salary has anything to do with it. So there was another case the other day. Oh, the guy there, Adam Watler, right? From East End. Somebody's like, oh, why would he do this? Did he need the money? I'm like, listen, be very, very clear. Just because you need money or you're poor doesn't mean that you're a dishonest person. They're not connected. They're very different, in fact. A lot of poor people have pride and they would never take something that isn't theirs. That's just, you just don't do that. You were raised different. Despite your poverty, right? They will hustle. They'll have 5 jobs. They'll even maybe beg for food or, beg for something. But stealing has nothing to do, and in the vast majority of cases, has zero to do with need. I remember the young lady, didn't she used to work CBC? I'm trying to remember now. Remember the one who stole and then claimed that she was stealing to buy medicine for her kid? Let me see if I can find that story again. She claims she has a sick child. This would have been a couple years ago. And the court believed that cockamamie story. I know I didn't. And someone very, very close to her ran into me and they said, Sandy, you featured this person on your show. And, I'm related to her. And I want to tell you that whole story about her stealing to support this child was a lie. And I said, yeah, I didn't doubt it. The child is sick, but I don't know what she was using the money for even. She was out in these streets living her best life. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I can't remember her name again. Oh gosh. She claimed that she was buying the child some kind of, I don't know, alternative medicine or some foolishness she was claiming. And that wasn't true. She was just a thief. Common thief. Anyway, the judge kind of went a little bit easier on her because of it. I cannot remember her name now. Yeah. But yeah, the point being, the vast majority of people do not. Oh, here we go. Yep, I found it. June of 2019, honey child. Y'all remember this story? Hold on. This was her defense. Mother receives suspended sentence after stealing for child's herbal treatment. So she clean. That was a lie. Had a good job too. Brianna Casey Kirchman, sentenced last week to 4 months imprisonment, suspended for 2 years after pleading guilty to stealing $9,000 from her employer to obtain some herbal treatments for a child. The magistrate found that the child's illness was an exceptional circumstance that mitigated immediate imprisonment. Except it was a lie. I mean, the child was sick, but she wasn't stealing for the child. She was stealing for herself. So she used to work as an office admin at a dive shop there in East End, I believe. What a mess. $9,000. Yep, all lies, my dear. The poor child wasn't getting the benefit of that. Like I said, a lot of these young people, young women in particular, really just stealing to support men. Like, I can't believe it. Like, they want to be flossing in the streets, you know, taking trips, buying men this and that. I'm like, child, please, y'all so stupid. Did I say he was from East End? Hold on, let me clarify. The Watler guy, Adam, is from North Side. Did I accidentally say East End? My apologies to the good people of East End. Don't want to give y'all more than what is yours. So no, he's from East End. Jeez, some peace. He's from North Side. That's actually Jay Ebanks's cousin. What a mess. Yes, sir. I mean, I got to tell you, when I first heard of the story was kind of mixed up because they were like, oh, a house was raided that belongs to Jay, or some kind of mixed up story. And then somebody said, no, it was his cousin. And he got 5 years because, you know, it was a whole brick of cocaine. And they were like, given the quantity, the scale, and the other documents, he was a dealer supplying people. And what I can tell you is, talking about bringing shame to the family, I feel so sorry for his mom. But, you know, his family, very, very supportive of him. You know, good for them. I guess it didn't matter when it came to the sentence, but they look like they would definitely be the kind that are going to visit him in jail and be there every Sunday, taking him a good home cooked meal. He's lucky. They're not gonna they're gonna try to make sure he don't lose no weight in prison. Oh, his poor mother. She's been through too much already. What a mess. Who worked at Health City? Which one? This last one, Brianna? Oh, they can get good jobs though, I must say. Alfredo says, yes, Cayman Airways fired to rehire. Look at that flight attendant, Gina, that they fired for breaching protocol, and they rehired her. That clearly sends the right message. And that flight attendant is very vulgar with all of the male pilots. Which one was Gina again? I feel like I should know this story. Gina. What was she fired for? Thank you, Miss Rosedale. Yeah, from North Side. My apologies to the people of East End. Who works Health City? This new one, Brianna? Well, you know, this is what I'm telling y'all. One came out and be cussing Karen on, but nobody don't want to hire y'all. I'm like, not so fast, because there's a lot of organizations out there that take a chance on you all. Now, hopefully, we won't be hearing any more about Brianna, and she's going to stay on the straight and narrow path. And I'm sure Health City has better sense than to put her in the accounts department. I'm just saying, don't put anywhere near money now. So, give people a second chance. But when y'all keep screwing up, don't be blaming anybody else. Everton said she'd have to show me proof about the child's sickness. No, so there is no question about the child being sick. The child does have a sickness. The question was if she was actually stealing for this alternative medicine that she claims. That's where the story doesn't hold any water. Miss Barbara says, you are my children's cousin, Evans. What? Yes, sir. Lots of cousins in Cayman, honey child. Aliana says, I don't know what it will take, but women in Cayman need to be proactive and form a camaraderie to stop these girls from going the path of dating the typical drug head types and have some class. Well, this goes back to what we were talking about yesterday on the program, how Caymanians can seem to find, if we're going to marry even outside people, we pick up the worst of the worst. Jamaica has 3 million people. Why is it that we have to go and find the worst of the 3 million people? I've never understood it. My goodness. We go in the underbelly of Tivoli Gardens to try and find a man to bring Cayman. Or they come here and then that's who we want to marry. No, sir. I keep encouraging you to make that status and that PR and that RERC worth something more than, a quick marriage at under the little arch. I mean, it don't make no sense. You're giving away your birthright to people who are not deserving of it. His mama works. Yeah, poor thing. Speaking of her, my thoughts are definitely with her, because I'm sure she's such a nice person. Miss Janet is a very, very nice person. But today, 2 years ago, is when her granddaughter, this little precious little angel, went missing. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I'm shocked that it has been 2 years. Has this investigation been concluded? What's the final situation? My goodness. Remember this? I mean, it was so shocking because we found out right here in the program what happened to this sweet little child. People still calling for justice. I mean, Elicity, I don't know what the final report says. The story just wasn't adding up. That's all I can tell you. And then when the mother did her live stream, I was confused even more. Poor thing. Didn't even get to start off life properly. Poor baby. 2 years already. Can you believe it? I tell you. John LaRue says, whatever happened to Miss Cayman Tiffany? Well, I think she's been keeping a low profile, and hopefully that's a good thing for her. You know what is so funny is recently I ran into someone who said, Miss Sandy, I want to thank you for helping me and my family. And I was like, oh, you don't really look familiar. And they said, no, we were one of Tiffany's many victims. And I wanted to thank you for speaking out on behalf of assault victims, and to just, despite some people getting upset with you and whatever, really holding the position that everybody should be held accountable, because she had gotten away with so much beforehand that, her number was just up. So I'm hoping, John, that she's turned over a fresh leaf and she's not kung fu kicking anybody down anymore. And she's just behaving herself, because she has a temper on her that is, quite dangerous if it's not kept in check and under control. So I don't know, honey child. Morning. Vanessa says Caymanians love yardies. Johan says Auntie Sandy, Don Marlon ain't that bad for Yardie. Try and leave Marlon alone. Strong Will says Yardie is the best. Lord Jesus, here you know. Aliano says no problem with that. Just be careful who you love. Anyway, we shall keep you guys updated. Hopefully CBC, like I said, will be issuing a statement about this arrest. They haven't as yet. So maybe we'll send them a quick email. Hold on. And remember, folks, even when you don't think so, CBC is watching. They should do a new promo video. Like when you come into the airport, it should play on those screens. Little big eyes, big oogly eyes. CBC is watching you. Sandy, isn't that the little girl's dad also? I don't know. Is that who the little girl is for? Adam? I don't know. I mean, Miss Janet has, somebody said no. She has more than one son, I think. She has kids. Miss Sandy, good morning. They not pick the worst men. The worst man always has the real. I can't share what that word is. I'm watching but hiding. I know the girl from Cayman Airways. She has such a nice girl. She used to work L. Thompson's. I guess her man was always a laughing stock when he come in the store. So, but like I said, I mean, you know, she was stealing from A.L. Thompson's too, so she's got issues, clearly. So he's okay. So somebody says, no, they didn't. We haven't gotten anything about it. Well, some people got messages about it. Maybe it was just the stewardess staff. I don't know. This person says her mother works for John John's office. Akira's mom works for John John. Oh, well, he can help him hire a good lawyer, I suppose. Somebody said, Sherry Ann didn't have a case one time too. Yes, we've talked about that. That's why she can't run for political office, because she has a theft conviction, and I think she actually went to jail too for it. So remember now, those of you who are interested in running for political office, the one thing that will be a lifetime bar, even if it's a suspended sentence. This is how important honesty is supposed to be for elected officials. Wonk, wonk, wonk. If you have been convicted for a dishonesty offense, even if it's suspended, even if it's, a month in jail, whatever, you're barred for life from running for political office. So, and dishonesty offenses run the gamut. They're everything from like obtaining property by deception, theft, anything that falls under the broader heading of a dishonesty offense. So yeah. So this person says we all got them in our family to me, Sherry Ann. Okay, Miss Nick Smith that worked at HSA arrested for stealing too. That Akira family to him for sure. But he got off, right? He was vindicated or whatever. Jury found him not guilty. Adam, is he family to the baby that died in Cameron Brack? So apparently this Adam would be the child's uncle, not the father, but the uncle. Someone says, what about if the conviction got expunged? It doesn't matter. For the purposes of running for elected office, it doesn't matter. Yep. So y'all saw Miss Stacy. Believe Miss Stacy, if I put on 2 more pounds. Although I'm going to tell y'all something, and then we're going to talk about our slack government, because God knows it's Friday. I feel like we might have to do an after show to turn up on them this morning. Y'all saw her bring this chocolate looking thing yesterday. I don't know quite what to call it. I don't know what we're calling it. But it's actually healthy-ish as things go that you love to eat. It actually has oats. There's no flour. So it's a flourless thing. And it has oats. It's just the chocolate chips make it sweet. It has like oats, bananas. But let me tell y'all something. It is so delicious. OMG. This hit the spot yesterday, honey child. I had another piece last night, and I'm going to have another piece today. And I said, she was experimenting, her and Gigi were experimenting with different things. So they used the what was the other one they did? The chocolate. There's two of them that came out really, really good. But she used the, what's that powder called? It's the bitter one. Well, that one didn't come out too hot. That one's like, nah. But boy, they were doing some baking around here yesterday. Look at this one. This one was good. I sampled this one, I think. This one was really good as well. Slightly different, but really, really good. So we're going to lock down those recipes because they were delicious. Yeah, the cocoa powder, the one that was made with the cocoa powder, I didn't like that one. So she said we use hot chocolate mix instead of cocoa powder, and that one actually came out really, really good. So, what are we calling this dish? I don't even know, but it is delicious. Bananas and basically oats. So you get your little half cup of oats in there. Good. Oh, she's in court this morning. Let me see. Let's check the list. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to just check the court list to see who is in court today. All right, she is nice inside out, and I can't believe she was that person. OMG, I'm not commenting on the live. I'm afraid. Laughing out loud. Okay. Is her mother Anna Jackson? Who? She's married to Jeff Jackson, who's big up in CBC. Who? I don't know who you're talking about. Whose mother? Okay, y'all send me all kind of messages, but you got to be clear about who you're talking about. Okay. Brianna was stealing to floss. Her and her friends was eating out every night at every restaurant. She wasn't buying no baby medicine. Chat, please. Okay. Well, you ain't family to the Hydes. The Smith is Omara Whitaker, niece Smith, Miss Carol from Carousel Bakery Children. Sure, y'all all up in the mix. Hold on now. Don't be too sure about the Hydes. Let me try to see. Because I've actually got some Hydes that showed up on my list now. Hold on. You bright. Talking about I'm not family to the Hydes. Let's see. HYD. Yeah, boy, we got enough Hydes. Actually, try and hush. I am family to the Hydes. Now I'm thinking about it. Because Mary and I, turns out after being friends for 30 years, we find out that we're cousins. Didn't know that. No, man, we got a couple Hydes. Rashana Hydes apparently is a second to third cousin. Mary is third to fourth. Nicholas Hydes, third to fourth. Laura Hyde, no S, is third to fifth cousin. Ruby Hyde, Cecil Hyde, Lynn Hyde. Yeah, man, we got a few Hydes in the family. Somehow there is a connection to the Bay Islands in Honduras that I don't know where that comes from. So I don't know what kind of mix-up situation that is, but you know, Cayman and men, they were all over the place back in the day. So only God knows. Got people in Nicaragua, all over the place. Who knows? Some sister soon pop up, half sister. All right. Your hand in the house. Your hand, you need to try this new treat that we got here for you. It's really healthy-ish. And these are the good chocolate chips, like the dark ones that are good for you. All right. So listen, let's talk about our slack government. This government is failing in the most epic way possible. I don't know what to say about them. They are different. They are different in a different kind of way, Michelle. Not Anna Jackson, but some family, like an aunt or a cousin. Oh, yes. Okay, so somebody said, if you're convicted for handling stolen goods, you also can't run for office because that's what Mario was convicted for. Yeah, because that's a dishonesty offense as well. Somebody said, I hope you aren't family to Philip Hides. Lord Jesus. Can I just show y'all this emoji? Hold on. This is so funny. Oh my God. He another thief that way. Stealing from people when they're trying to build a house with their hard-earned money. Oh, Lord, Kim Manions. Y'all special, though. Oh, my God. Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Hopefully he don't show up on 23andMe, but it doesn't matter because if you're a thief and you're dishonest, you're going to be featured on CMR regardless of whether you're family or not. But look at this. This is so funny. Hope you aren't family to Philip Hides. And then look at the little emoji face that they sent. Oh, my God. That is hilarious. Yeah, we're not finished with Philip yet, by the way. Where is he? He on vacation again, spending people hard-earned money? He better try and finish people homes without the walls leaking. Ay. You can say my name. I don't give a ish. Don't worry. Philip gonna have a special day just for him, the Philip Hides Day. Donald Trump is a felon and can still run. Thank God we're not the USA. This person says you pick your friends, not your family. That's for sure. All right. Let me see. Sorry. I came back Wednesday. She was on the flight then. Don't need the mix-up. Okay, let me see. Other comments. Cheese for Perry, I think, not Bud. Yes, I think we finally got that sorted. What a hot mess. Okay, all right. Let's move on to our slack government. So this government, I don't even know what to say about them. Abject failure comes to mind. They're not going to accomplish nothing in the time that they're there. Lord Jesus. Okay. Apparently, after how many years? But we saw this coming in a different kind of way, and I talked about it. The Regen project, which was supposed to be this massive project that the PPM government, they signed the ink before they got out last time. It was one of the last things that they did. Trying to get the ball rolling. A lot of people said that they rushed it and they were trying to commit to it. But listen, trying to do something with Mount Trashmore, I mean, it would be amazing if we could move the needle in terms of that. But this is just ridiculous. So this government has killed the Regen project. Now, I'm a little bit confused because I heard from last weekend that DART was going to be killing it. And then the government gets up and says that they're killing it. Obviously, signing contracts for government doesn't mean anything. If they're hell-bent on reversing what a previous government did or not doing it or whatever, they're just going to do it. And it just doesn't even matter. So the news came out yesterday. You know, they're finally working in Parliament, something that they hardly do. And they can rush through legislation and push through stuff real quick. It's like they don't want to be there full time. So apparently they disclosed that following a recent meeting of cabinet, it was decided that the Cayman Islands government will begin taking the necessary steps to exit the Regen project agreement with the DART-led consortium to find a more affordable option for the country. This is according to the Minister of Sustainability and Resiliency, the Honorable Catherine Ebanks Wilkes. This is what she announced on Thursday. The minister said that no new project dates have been set for the Georgetown refill due to the decision to terminate the agreement. These people don't know what they're doing. I'm telling y'all, they do not know what they're doing. Now, say what you will about the DART organization. When they take on a project, we all have to admit that they do it to a particular standard. Now, we know that the member for Bodden Town, is that East or West? Chris Saunders has had an issue with this from day one because apparently he wants other people. He says, oh, no. We can have a Caymanian-led consortium, not the DART organization, that can do this because there's some people who are connected to him politically. I hear Mr. Whitaker, what's his name? Oh Lord, what is his first name is? He ran for office. I didn't even know that he was in this isn't, let me be very, very clear. To get this done and to get it done right, this just isn't a recycling company. This is gonna take a lot of resources, expertise, people working in collaboration with each other. And the one thing that I felt confident about, that at least with the DART organization, they were going to pool the necessary experts together to do it the right way. Now it's going to be a free-for-all if it ever gets done. This is going to be worse than the mental health facility that all now we can't open. This is a failure of governments. We need a proper landfill solution for this country. Every time Mount Trashmore catches fire, right? You have to shut down the Esterly Tibbetts right next to school. There's some days, even when it's not on fire, depending on the smell, the odoriferousness of that is just disgusting. Now we have a hospital that's going to be right there. Imagine being in a hospital and smelling Mount Trashmore. You have a school that's right there. You have all sorts of businesses that are in that quadrant. That really isn't the ideal location for it. And just throwing it in and covering it up and dumping in a new section isn't the solution. I am shocked that we have been talking about a modern day, waste solid management solution. And it looks like we'll never get there. This is going to be another political football. So according to Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, she says achieving a modern, sustainable, and affordable solid waste management solution for the Cayman Islands remains a key priority for the government. Well, we know that's a lie. If that was a lie, y'all wouldn't be doing this. And this is, again, go back to previous shows where I said when Catherine got in, she had a certain mandate and she was being directed by the likes of John and Chris Saunders, telling her this is what you're going to do because she don't have no backbone for herself, apparently. Why do y'all think that they moved Jennifer Ahern again? They're ridiculous. Hear what she says. She explained that the legal implications of the right to terminate were considered, and it was determined that the parties would have no liability to each other except contractual liabilities accrued before the termination of the agreement. Well, you need to tell us exactly what those contractual liabilities are. Miss, I have a law degree. Don't give us a statement like that without the details. what is government going to be on the hook for? Because when you talk about contractual liabilities, that means something. Normally, a breach of contract will mean something is going to be on the table. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. If my memory serves me right, younger time than before Doc arrived here in the island, Doc, you know what? But he still built the hospital and the school right next door, so we can't.
I'm sure the hospital, which is being completed now, I'm sure deal for over 40 years ago, and that dump facility would be moved. So this has far-reaching, greater governments and government actions, right? As a business owner, the thing that kills businesses more than anything else is uncertainty. You don't want to deal with governments that fly by the seat of their pants. 1 minute they can do this, next minute they can do something else. Uncertainty in business kills business. The hospital, which is privately owned by Health City, obviously knew that it's there now, but they also knew that, I'm just saying, I'll take the argument with Cayman Bay that they knew that the dump was there. Okay. And do you still think just because they knew that it was there, that is the best location for the dump and that we're doing the best that we can? No recycling facility, no nothing in place. And we're running out of space. The dump is constantly on fire. No one is managing the waste to, the facility at all. So what happened to Mr. Dexter? Did he run out of credit? So it's not about, the DART organization knew that the dump was there when they built Cayman Bay. That's really not the point. I understand that. What I think is happening, Shaka Zula says the stream is, the sound is really poor. Okay, hold on. Let me come off of this network. Give me 1 second. This is why I gotta have more than one honey chill. Hold on. Let me. Okay, hopefully that's better. Thank you so much for letting me know. The sound is muffled. Oh. All right. So I don't know what's going on here. Like I said, I've heard the streets talking for a long time that, there are some politically connected people who have a recycling company. Mind you now, the irony of it is the consortium would have utilized those companies in the services that they provide. But they apparently want a bigger piece of the pie, although they have no track record. They're not really experts. Yeah, you can have a little small scale garbage collection company in recycling business, but that doesn't make you an expert in waste management. So Chris Saunders represented some time ago that, the price tag for this is going to be too much. And he didn't really give the full details of it, including the price tag is over like 20, 25 years or something absolutely ridiculous. Like it's really a long time. And to get it right, how do you think, and this is a thing that makes me chuckle about government, right? We're going to nickel and dime and talk about, we can't commit our people to this. That's funny. Because you can waste and commit to a $50 million school that isn't even needed. There's no business case for that. This is spending money over a 25, 30-year period to try to get your country on a better path of waste management solutions. And that's too much money. But we can commit to a port facility into the billions of dollars with all sorts of sketchy people and get in bed with them. Government doesn't care about the money. when it's something that they actually want to do. They will find a way to justify it. So I'm a bit on the fence here about how they're claiming now that they're doing this trying to save money. I don't believe that for 1 minute. Y'all don't care about saving money. If y'all cared about saving money, you wouldn't let Juliana O'Connor Conley go build a $50 million school that she doesn't need in Cayman Brac. That's going to turn out to be a $100 million school. You guys waste money in so many other ways. Good morning, caller.
Yep, they're saving pennies and wasting dollars.
Right? And kicking this down, because listen, there's no way that this existing government is going to get this done before the next election. There'll be no new contract, no nothing. They have to put it out for bid. That's going to take another 5 to 6 years. Do you understand what we lose when we continue to not put these solutions in place for our community? We should have had waste management facility 10, 15 years ago. And we're paying the price for it. And something like this, the price that we're ultimately paying is also with our health. Because that dump isn't properly containing garbage in any way, shape, or form. That is seeping into the water table.
And it comes back to, again, there's no proper plan for the entire country because they want the population to be X amount, but yet we can't even manage the garbage we have now. Like you want to increase the population, but the infrastructure is not supporting it. It makes no sense.
Exactly. What a mess. Thank you so much, caller. I appreciate it. 936-2626. I just don't get, what this government is doing. I'm sorry, Kathy, but you got to go. I mean, you're one that should not be reelected. Sorry. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better now. I did a little refresh. You need to come with a better solution. And this just isn't it. We need a better explanation as to what is really going on here. Our government is even capable of opening a mental health facility. When are we going to stop putting them in charge of projects that clearly they have no understanding of? The civil servants, where are they in the equation? Jesus. All right. Abby says, so we're finally going to move it to BT and have a civil war over the matter. Listen, it has to be moved somewhere. And I think the problem is a lot of you can't envision what this facility would be like because you've never seen one before. What we need to do is go on a tour with somebody who can show us what a modern facility looks like. And if y'all think that waste to energy management is going to be cheap, somebody's lying to you. The cheap solution that they're talking about is going to be something that is on par with something that would have been built in the US from the 1970s. That's what cheap is going to get you. Outdated, old technology, not really working. Yeah, and still going to have all kind of problems. Johan says CMR radio service plus internet access about to go down. Now the ante is going ham against the government. Watch it. I mean, the timing is funny when y'all started to say we were having audio issues. I'm just saying. But we got redundancy. What about that affordable housing? Big delays on those government always dragging their feet. Yes. Jay's Gaming. We have housing in West Bay that Caymanians have been waiting on. Supposed to have gotten their keys before Christmas. And all now, they can't get in there. There are bigger failings here that we have got to recognize. And both the civil service, who's responsible for the handling of these projects, needs to be held accountable, as well as our elected officials. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, dear.
I would like to find out, I don't know if you have any information, if you've done any research, but you're talking about the landfill. we gave our health city permission to build that hospital. Did we have any water tests done? Did we have any kind of disease tests done? We've got a school also approved by DART. Now a hospital is near that site. You and I both know diseases are airborne. There's been lots of stuff put on top of that dump, including human remains and everything else that they don't want to talk about. But the bottom line is, I would like to know, once you have money in this country, you can do whatever you want to do. Anybody could be bought. It's like we have become, the island has become the biggest prostitute that the world has ever known. I am very on board for making sure that we can get a decent landfill. The same thing, if we need a different port, that's fine, but I don't think it needs to come in central Georgetown to destroy the rest of the little bit of West Bay Beach that we do have left. I'm also against all the building that is going on in West Bay Beach. I'm tired. Where's the moratoriums that we had from all of the older politicians that thought about us? They think about having a penny every single time behind their name and everything that they signed off on. We have none of that. Now, I'm not going to give every single person in the government wrong. Yes, they fail in some things, but I think they've done some work. Not been someone that has watched politics. You know what happened. The head of that team is who maneuvers, who manipulates, who stalls everybody else. If they have a good program or they have a good project that they want to bring on board that would benefit majority of the Caymanian people, they're not going to get that because somebody else wants a $50 million school, or somebody wants the port, or somebody wants 10 airplanes, and this is going to be what's more important. Come on now. We don't need 6 or 7 airplanes. Listen to me very carefully. Cayman Airways was something that the PPM government wanted to destroy a long time ago. And even though I was a civil servant, I'm the one that stood up and said, listen to me. And even after Hurricane Ivan, I said, we need Cayman Airways, because that was the airline that took us back and forth, brought in food, took people out of here when they were cursing us and saying we were island people, we were stupid. I was there in the hangar working. I saw what we went through, the Caymanian people, the names we were called, and everything else that we went through inside of that hangar working, and 24 hours, non-stop. And let me tell you something. I hailed and take my hat, shoes, parts, every part off of my Caymanian pilots and all the pilots that were there that worked and stewardesses that were working non-stop. I take my hat off, and I was always on the radio saying, we need an airline. Don't us ever think that we don't have some way to be able to escape or to take these people off of here, because DART may be a millionaire here, and there may be a couple of others, and quite a few Caymanians that are billionaires here too. But let me tell you something. The day we have like somebody like the Saudis coming here and they get hurt, or anybody else, and they really bring a lawsuit here, we're not going to like it. Now going back to this landfill, we all need to come together and agree we need a place to store all of the refuge that we dispose of every single day. That's every family's household. We all need to work together. Where it's going to be, the island is so much and so much long and so much wide. We need to decide that. And if they're not going to work together, do not waste your time giving them a vote. For the last 25 years, I have watched what you have done to Caymanian people, and I can tell you, the one that is running the ship now, that at the helm, which is a female, let me tell you something. I don't care whether they like me or hate me. It don't matter to me. What she has done to my Caymanian people, I will never forget. And I am telling you, she does not deserve anybody's vote in this country. Not what she has done to Caymanian people. We are the only ones that are destroying our own people because we can, and because no one has the ability to stand up. That thing that they call constitution needs change, because when these politicians waste money and destroy people's lives, taking Caymanians wherever they want to, we have people not investigating and doing the right thing to make sure that Caymanians come first These are the kind of people that need to be also held accountable. Let me rephrase it a different way. If I stole $5 million today, where am I going? In front of the court's office, and I'm going to serve my time. But when the politicians with billions of dollars, millions of dollars, right? They get to walk scotch-free. Let me give you the first subject on this matter. All two of those.
I just want to remind you, we do have another person waiting as well.
$100 million schools.
Yes.
John Gray and Clifton Hunter, and then all the stuff stayed there and went and got destroyed. I'm just giving you that as the first subject, right? But I'm telling you, we need to do better in this country. We're not going to hold them accountable, and they can be prosecuted and they're above the law. Then it don't make sense for us to go vote. It don't make sense. Let's go and vote. Stop the whole process. Let us all live together, fight together, do whatever, and continue being crowds.
Thank you,
it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, my apologies to the person who is on hold. Do call us back. Let me also say this for the record. That call, and my apologies for the audio issues. I'm not sure what's really going on there. But that caller talked about how this premiere isn't for the people. Let me just throw something out there for you guys to think about. Cayman Brackers, you guys are going to go to the polls just like everybody else next year. There is about 2 or 3 companies in Cayman Brac that provide, cleaning services, right? And they get contracts to do government schools and other government properties. Let me tell you what your illustrious leader, premier of this country, has allowed to happen. Those little businesses, and Cayman Brac has a smaller economy, and I think that there are things that they do there that are necessary to try to assist the Cayman Brackers. They don't have as many visitors. They don't have as many money flowing through Cayman Brac. So things are done there a little bit different. And I can appreciate that. Those companies lost out on the opportunity to bid during the summer for the summer cleaning, which is something that they normally, in fact, they've never had to bid on it before. Once they've gotten the regular contracts, they then disperse it throughout the summer as well. Instead, they've given the cleaning contract to some Cayman company. Now, y'all have to explain this one to me, Cayman Brackers, because I don't understand this. A Cayman cleaning company has to pick up, fly staff to Cayman Brac in order to clean government schools when you have companies there who have had the business and have been doing it perfectly fine for years without any complaints? How is that helping the people of Cayman Brac? I mean, listen, we're all one people. But do we have to purposely inject competition in Cayman Brac from people here in Grand Cayman? There's not enough buildings here, enough facilities, enough contracts that you guys could potentially get, that they allowed bidding from Grand Cayman to take place for the few little cleaning opportunities, government cleaning opportunities in Cayman Brac. I couldn't believe it. And so now the Cayman company, who doesn't even answer their phone, is going to put together staff, I guess, and put them on a flight and send them over there, knowing that there are companies in Cayman Brac who have work permits for people already, have existing relationships, and so on with the government, cleaning facilities there. And they did not even know that this was going on. They were not even informed. They didn't even get a courtesy phone call. Next thing they know, they just hear that these people are coming in to clean the schools. Good morning, caller. And by the way, you can thank your premier for that. Morning, caller.
Good morning. Just wanted to say quickly, Sandra, that Botetown was the capital of our country once. That was the first one. That's where a lot of the ships used to come in years ago. Of course, port of little town in Georgetown, we also ended up having that too. But if that is deeper water, that is the idea that we should really look at if we really want to build a deeper dock. The deep water out there and try to get that sorted out. But we've got, let me tell you how much money we have wasted. It's not in the thousands of this study and that study and this study, environmental impact, what it would do, what it didn't do. let me tell you something. One of the best things that we could have done is to have the mariners like Mr. Hurlston, people like before a lot of them died, Captain Gleason, Captain Marvin, Captain Dallas Ebanks. Those kind of people also could sit with the government and say, listen, because we are mariners, we can tell you what this would mean for our country and what could happen when we're having disasters like hurricanes and stuff coming through. These people don't want to listen to Caymanians. They don't want to hear anything about us. Mm-hmm. We're going along with this new birth that is going to be happening for 2030, where the population has to be decreased. And what better thing to do but to eliminate your own and have all foreigners where you can control them? And that's going way back to the Illuminati stature, those that are dealing down with all of that dark roads and all of those dark areas and stuff. So let me tell you something. We should be talking to some of our older people that still have cognitive sense to tell us what we should be doing with the port. But we definitely need to make sense and need to make strong sense about where we are going to put that dump. We're gonna need every one of us here, families, have to put stuff. What I want us to stop doing is all of those that are building those hotels and stuff, and when they get damaged, is to stop making them come and put everything on top of that dump. We should be charging a fee when these people are coming in here. Soon the water, you won't be able to eat no fish from the west side because all of these hotels and all that pungent sewage that they're destroying and throwing out into the water, it's not going to be good for us. It's going to soon be like Jamaica when you walk on top of the beach, all the feces from the animals on top of it. Before, years ago, you couldn't take no animals on top of the beach and stuff like that. If you caught, you would be fined and so forth. Now we got droppings all over from all different types of animals running up and down, carrying on top of the West Bay Beach. But we don't have any beach left for us now to enjoy anyway. Even the public beach has been taken away from us and put in billionaires' pocket. But the bottom line is, we are destroying our beach. We're destroying the environment. We're getting rid of every Caymanian that we can get rid of. I'm sorry, this is the most important election that is coming up here, and I'm telling you, if we keep putting in the same and think we're gonna get a different result, we're absolutely stupid. And I can tell you what, we're not gonna be at the polls this year, not for what I see going on. Now, if I was in different districts, there are a couple of people that I would vote for, the younger ones. But I can tell you, not for what the way that I see Caymanians have been hurt, the way that I see Caymanians have been destroyed, victimized, bullied. No, no, Sandra, I'm not one of those, because I don't believe that after 25 years of putting the same people and getting the same result, I'm sorry, I'm not going down that road again. Have a good day, Sandra. Take care.
Thank you, my dear. It's a hot mess. I mean, we got to really look carefully at the people who are running for elected office. And, we have, I'm hearing of a few options, some people coming out. Some of those, unfortunately, can't get any support from me either. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. They don't have a track record of moving a plate from here to over here. And we have got to stop putting people in positions of leadership in this country. By the way, we're in a little bit of overtime. I was trying to check the cause list, but I didn't see that name somebody was asking about earlier. But yeah, we got to stop putting people in a position who've not been tested. Let me put it this way. Who have no track record of accomplishing one good thing in their lives. Why are we putting them in charge of this country? Because then we put them in there and all of a sudden, they start to do what? They're concerned about themselves. There's a lot of people pushing these decisions in the background that don't have our interests as a people at heart. And I think that is a problem. Sometimes you've got to be prepared as an elected official to take your licks, but once you're standing up for the people of your country. I mean, I hear the port, that could be something else that they got to soon come and start pushing on us as well. It's just a hot mess. It's like, what is next with this group? As a whole, they have really failed. There might be one or two that might get a little pass, but no, sir. What have they done? Where have they really moved the needle? They give you one little nugget. Oh, yes, let's increase the no immigration reform, right? Mr. Steve McFeel says he's given them the report. We can't see no reports. We can't hear what's going on. Nothing in minimum wage. They can't even be honest with the people. Oh, we'll just make it for this sector, but we're going to redo everything again. Why are y'all wasting time redoing everything? Somebody sent me some links reminding me of how long it has taken us to get where we are with this regen project. And then they just scratched the whole thing for us to start all over again. Do y'all know what we're talking about when we say start all over? Let's go back and look at it. 2014. How many years ago that was? 10 fucking years. We're in overtime now, so you all know to click off if your kid's listening because it's Friday. 10 years. We can't, my mind is just blown at how long a little country like this takes to accomplish and do anything. 10 years. 10 years ago. Right? Then Premier Alden McLaughlin, this is March of 2014, was returning from London from another overseas trip. It says this time it was to visit a number of waste management and recycling centers in Florida with the minister responsible for the Georgetown landfill. They were assessing modern, efficient waste management systems in the United States as part of what the wider public considers very slow progress towards addressing the island's most pressing problem. Despite public opinion, and this was an article in CNS back then, that the dump is a major priority, the premier still emphasized the need to follow process. Listen to me. You could have thought of the process, written the process, rewritten the process, and followed it in 10 fucking years. I mean, come on now. How long does it take to get a waste management solution? It's ridiculous. So then Premier and Minister Osborne Bodden went to Tampa, visited facilities there. What's the issue? 2006. How many years has that been? Here's another article. This one from Cayman Compass. CMR wasn't around in those days. 18 years. An official Cayman Islands government delegation recently toured 2 waste-to-energy facilities in the state of Massachusetts. 18 years ago, 10 years ago. And here we are throwing it all out the fucking window and we're going to start over again. Y'all understand that you've had children in that amount of time who are now adults who have to sit here and look at this Mount Trashmore because we have incompetence at all levels. How many facilities you need to see? 18 years ago, the facility that you looked at then is outdated. 10 years ago, the facility that you looked at then is outdated. What's the problem? Good morning, caller.
Hi, Sandra. Just calling you back on one matter I wanted to discuss with you. There was a video going on with a young Jamaican lady saying that she had paid for her insurance, but yet when she tried to use it, they wanted her to pay cash. Did you see that video going around?
No, but that doesn't have anything to do with waste to whatchamacallit right now. And I want to stay focused on this. So I haven't seen it. Okay. I think somebody might have sent me something, but I'd have to have a look. But yeah, that's not the topic right now, honey Jam.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want you to do a topic on insurances because I think insurance companies need to be highlighted on what they're doing here in the country. And it's about all the insurances. That's how life and so forth. Okay? Take care.
You. Folks, I'm telling y'all, we gotta stop allowing incompetence to be acceptable and to rule the day. right? 20-something years to get stuff done. Over 20 years, we've been talking about the East-West arterial and still can't get it done because the political willpower isn't there to say, get the EIA done. They want to say, oh, this EIA gonna hold it up. The EIA is not what's holding it up. It's been the political lack of concern. And then at the last minute, they want to push it through and say, well, people need an hour extra per day. So let's just push it through and destroy the environment. Who gives a shit? Because y'all can sleep in an extra hour. No. You had over 20 years to do that too, and you didn't do it. To the caller's point, we have got to stop electing the same nonsense people over and over again. And to be clear, those people, the exact same people, have been in there an average of 15 to 20 years. So we know who to blame. And then the newcomers come in. We talk about we want fresh blood. And they get in there, and I'm sorry, Kathy and the rest of you, but you have no fucking backbone yourself. You can't stand up. In order to get a look cabinet position, you have to compromise who you are, which I don't know who you were, but you compromise what you promised us anyway. Let's put it that way. And you just go along to get along. Complete incompetence and failures, and we have got to hold them accountable. It's time that we said enough is enough. How many years have we been begging and needed a mental health facility? It's so bad that they can't even tell you when it's going to be open. The minister's like, oh, I don't even want to say anymore. Because every time I say this time, it never happens. You ever heard of such bullshit in your life? Every single project for sure has to have a project life cycle, a timeline, something. And when they don't deliver within the promised timeline or nowhere close to it, nobody is held accountable. And this is what I do not understand. How do we allow this to happen time and time and time again? It's just, I mean, it seems like we are just so used to mediocrity that it just doesn't even matter anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to hold anybody accountable. It's, listen, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. What a hot mess. Darlene says, when our people want to have their way, they will do anything. That's a disease most of our people have. Symphony says, people in Cayman are so complacent and compliant. Damien says, increasing prison sentences works and spends more money instead of killing the root of the problem. KK says, report soon fling out now that you're saying it. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. This takes incompetence to like a whole new level for me. Philip, good morning, says Cayman is the only place where politicians get elected without a pot to piss in and come out 4 years later as millionaires. And then we fools re-elect them for another 4 years so that they can get guaranteed pension and severance pay to boot. Only place in the world that politicians lose an election and get paid severance. And they, Alden, and the last government put that in place. Not a single member of parliament stood up and said, no. We're not giving severance, 3-month severance to elected officials. That's ludicrous. Look at the kind of money that we already make in this country. How can we, with any degree of conscience, do that? They passed it before they got out of office. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Don't forget now, even when somebody decides that they're not going to run for re-election, what was passed gives them 3 months of pay. You don't even get that for yourself in the labor law. You resign from a job and you're going to get a 3-month severance package. Show me that kind of protection for the average person. It does not exist. And to Philip's point, the craziest part about it is these MPs set themselves up and all sorts of other businesses and all sorts of, connections with this one. They're going to be building and they got pieces of land that they secure. They've got partnerships for hospitals and this, that, and next thing, all sorts of stuff. They set themselves up pretty. Some of them even go back to government as consultants. Huh? Don't deliver nothing as a minister, fuck up the whole thing. And then we turn around and hire them back into government, not technically as a civil servant, but as a consultant to government. Where does this make any sense? I feel like we live in this alternative universe. We gotta really have different expectations, man. Come on. Damien says everybody knows the problem and nobody has a solution and vision for the next 20 years. It's a complete waste of time. Johnny, good morning. Says there's no progress in Cayman because progress is determined by an MLA's 4-year term that gets absolutely nothing done other than a consultant's report rehashing the same guidance for the 411th time. You mean to tell me that there was not some sort of a compromise with this waste to energy situation? People say, well, the progressives were rushing it. And, there were so many aspects of it that weren't finalized. People like Jennifer Ahern has spent the last 8 years of her professional career working on this fucking agreement. Why haven't things been finalized? What has been the holdup? It's really unacceptable. So you scratch the whole thing and start all over, and you think that you're going to save money. Y'all ain't got no sense. This is what happens when you put people in political position who've never even run a successful business in their lives. They've never been part of a management team of a successful business. Huh? Because they would know that scrapping it, putting it out to tender and starting all over again is just pure and simple madness. That's the only way that I can describe this. I'm not saying that this was a perfect agreement and there weren't things that could have been, tweaked and worked on. What I'm saying is scrapping the whole thing, putting it out to bid again. And mind you, you could end up with the exact same thing. DART is going to put together a conglomerate again of experts that can outbid everybody else. And then what you're going to fucking do then? The price not coming down? Somebody said, it sounds like somebody didn't get their slice of the pie, hence the cancellation. It's ridiculous. Somebody said, what? That's like quitting my job and still getting severance. Yes, they did that. Three months. But I don't know what they're doing to my internet today, because I went on the backup feed and some of y'all still complaining that it's choppy. But listen, the bottom line is this. It's not going to just be today that we're talking about this. Y'all can cut off the fucking internet. I'll have to go to Starlink and get hooked up with that nutcase, Elon Musk, and bypass everybody in Cayman. because you cannot stop the show. Oh, yeah. They getting salty with me coming into the next election. Trust and believe me when I tell you, there's a lot of shit happening in the background. They gonna try me. And I guess nobody never told them where I really come from in Georgetown because they would know better. I'm not gonna take it lying down, that's for sure. We can have a voice in this country. This is our country. And it's not just for 19 members or 19 people to be running it. They're trying to put the fear of God in people. Oh, you know, we have to control Sandy. Some of them have the audacity to send me the messages that they're circulating amongst themselves. Well, we need Sandy to say this and that. Don't be fucking calling my blood clot phone about what I must say and what I mustn't say, because clearly you don't know me. Clearly. Y'all are crazy. You can't silence the people. Last time I checked, this ain't Russia, and we're not going to make it Russia. Okay? The people have an opinion. And they have a right to be heard. They deserve for you politicians to listen to them. You guys are losing the plot, and it seems to me that it's getting worse by the day. What have they done? What have they accomplished in the past 4 years, in the past 8 years, in the past 16 years, in the past 20 years? Jesse says maybe it's time for us to consider term limits. We got to start thinking about something. Because recycling the same politicians with the same types of attitude and the same ways of doing stuff has gotten us nowhere. There are some significant projects in this country that we should have completed by now and moved a lot farther along, and we have not done so. 2006, we talked about delegates visiting Massachusetts to look at a facility there. Their power plants equipped with pollution control equipment capable of meeting the most stringent EPA standards in the United States of America. They toured the Pittsfield Resource Recovery Facility and the Pioneer Valley plant. Those facilities handle 240 tons of solid waste a day. It includes a comprehensive recycling, drop-off, and processing facility. At the time, Mr. McLean, because we've been through so many ministers on this issue, said that with a waste-to-energy facility on island, we could reduce the country's daily solid waste, as well as produce additional valuable resources. And I intend to push forward with this initiative, as we cannot and should not continue to dispose of our solid waste in the manner that we've been doing. It is our intention to augment waste to energy with a robust recycling program that will demand and bring about changes in people's world views. That was 18 years ago. At the time, West Bay Representative Mr. Anglin, he went on the trip, said it was positive and a productive fact-finding mission. He would encourage the government to pursue this initiative, as it will assist in developing a more environmentally friendly and sustainable country. At that time, 18 years ago, 900 tons of refuse was occupying the Georgetown landfill. And on average, this little country was producing 458 tons of daily trash. How much are we producing now? A proper waste to energy facility 18 years ago was estimated to cut back 35% on trash reduction, reducing the country's trash load to 300 tons per day. We've done nothing. We went through Arden McLean, Carson Ebanks. He must have probably retired now from the civil service. Roy Dale Carter no longer works DEH. In 18 years, the world has changed. Klein Glidden, Ralston, all these people, right? We're in government at the time. Lucille Seymour, Alfonso Wright. They're gone, all gone from government, and we're sitting here still talking foolishness. Have it make sense? It simply does not make any sense. We cannot just sit back and allow 40 years to go by and we all sit here going, boy, you know, we should have had a waste to energy facility way back in 2024. It started before 2006. And oh God, I'm at the end of my life now and we still don't have that. It's ridiculous. They don't even, it's so funny that they don't even talk to the people. There's no level of engagement. Right? They don't even have, I mean, think about it. When was the last time any of them had a political meeting and came to you? They're cabinet members and they're there. All this chatter and all this stuff that they're going on with, they don't even come to the people and say, let me gauge what it is that the people want. Let's have an open discussion. We're going to make some really big decisions. We're about to throw out the baby with the bathwater and make some really, really poor decisions that could impact your life, your children's life, your grandchildren's life, even the very dog life. And we don't even have a conversation with you. We just do it because they think that they're like God, all-knowing, omnipotence, right? They can do it. That's why they can sit down and talk bullshit that, oh, only God can stop them. No. He can definitely stop you. He's the ultimate person. But at the same time, what about your people that elected you? You don't think that we can stop you? You don't think that we can vote you out of office? That's how little they think of you. When they want to do a project, this is what they tell you. Only God can stop them, not the voters, not the community, not anybody else. That's how important that they think that they are. Y'all need to listen. You need to listen very, very carefully to when people say things because it demonstrates who and what they are. I remember when Alden said that thinking, what the fuck did this man just say? Only God could stop him from building that school. This was Clifton Hunter, that to this day don't make no sense. Poorly designed from the word jump. Only God got to stop me wasting these millions of dollars. Look at that. And then we turned around and gave him a knighthood like a bunch of jackasses. Not we. Well, the English gave it to him like a bunch of jackasses. Same thing. When he said, Caymanians should welcome foreign investors in this country because they create jobs as secretaries and receptionists and people working in the mailroom for our Caymanian people. You know how insulted I was by that statement? I could have slapped the straight right out of his head. That's how little he thinks of you all. I ain't got no problem with foreign investors if it's done correctly. And it's to benefit this country, i.e. Caymanians. But how are you going to get up before your people and tell them, yes, that the best that they can hope for and the best that they can get is to be a fucking receptionist, mailroom clerk, and maybe if you're lucky, a legal secretary. What about partners in management and organizations? He thinks so little of us that none of that was on the radar. How about we become partners with some of the foreign investors where we can have a say in what is actually being developed in our country? In his head, I tell y'all, listen to what people say. None of that came out of his mouth because he doesn't think of us in that way. He does not value us. And this is our former premier, our leader. Good morning, caller.
I will call in to just hopefully stop you from having an aneurysm because your blood pressure is probably going through the roof right now.
My blood pressure not going through the roof. What I can tell you is, Johan, I am just so sick and tired of us being played for fools by these politicians. And you know what? We're to blame, you know? Because you mean to tell me after he said some of the bullshit like that, after Julie has been in office for 30 fucking years and done nothing, how does she still get elected to office? How does she become premier of this country when people don't want her there? Nobody likes that woman. How does it happen? How can she be a two-time premier by force? She just takes it, and we all sit back going, well, there goes cutthroat juju again.
Yeah, but
there's only one way to deal with people like that. You know, let me be very, very clear. There's only one way to deal with these bad seeds that we have, and that is to vote them out of office. Because they're not leaving on their own, God knows. They don't have the decency to do that. They're not going to retire gracefully. So it's time that we start voting them out. But the sort of major issue that we have is, what are we voting them out for? Because look at what we have coming forward, talking about they want to run for office. Some of the people I hear saying that they want to run for office, they shouldn't even run around the fucking block. They need to go sit their ass down. I'm serious.
Yo.
They don't have what it takes. When you listen to them, they call on the radio, they're talking pure bullshit. There's a collective sigh when some people call. All over camera. Oh, God. I got people messing me, Sandy. When this person off, I'll start listening again. It's like, what the fuck? And you want to represent the people. You've done nothing with your life. You've accomplished nothing. You won't pick up a book and fucking read nothing. But yet you want to represent us, the people. No. We need better. We got to come better than that.
Can I make my point, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It is no doubt you have the most influential platform in the Cayman Islands, the most eyeballs, the most readership. Everybody pays attention, and your commentary is very, very persuasive amongst multi-generational Caymanians, new Caymanians, and anybody that understands what's happening in Cayman. But what I would ask and beg of you on behalf of the right-thinking sort of Caymanian people that get it, we need a campaign, a public campaign that speaks to raising our expectations of leaders, but also that campaign has to be realistic, where we help educate the Caymanian people as to how the system really works. Mm-hmm. Because elected officials and ministers would have you believe that they have ultimate power and that they can direct certain things. They can't. There's a power struggle or a power sharing agreement that exists between elected officials, ministers, but the administrative and day-to-day operations in their ministry is done by senior civil servants. And until people understand that when a politician makes a promise to you and says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do A, I'm going to do B, that is subject to their department or their senior staff, project managers, helping them get to that objective. Because you can have a good chief officer that buys into what you're selling, or you can have somebody that is working against you and you will achieve nothing. So you're absolutely right about the quality of some of the candidates. There are people that enter politics that were broke, nearly bankrupt, had nothing. Now they're multimillionaires. because their financiers, their supporters, and the people that bought and owned them used them and their services and their companies to make them legit and now wealthy. Nobody looks into those things, but those are the sort of things that as a country we should be looking into. But more importantly, the country needs to understand that the mechanism only works when you understand that anybody can grab a mic and make a promise and say, I'm going to paint, I'm going to pave your road, I'm going to pave your road, I'm going to build your house, I'm going to do whatever. But unless they have the willingness and the compliance of those government agencies to do so, those are empty promises. So I'm asking you, I love when you have extra time because that's when you really talk your truth. But I think in addition to talking your truth, we have to help our people, because the way we voted in 1990, the way we voted in 2000, the way we voted in 2010 or 30 years ago can't be the same way that we vote today, given the fact that Cayman is facing complex issues. It is unsustainable for the civil service to continue to grow. It will end up being the straw that breaks the camel's back, and Cayman will have to implement some form of direct taxation to subsidize that growing monster that in many cases does not provide value for money. So ministers don't negotiate day to day or work out the contract details day to day on any project. That comes from the civil servants and the technocrats and so on and so forth. But they are held accountable.
Let me ask you something, Johan, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This regen deal was killed because they claimed that we should be able to get it cheaper. What evidence and research and reports do they have to support that position?
I haven't seen any of that information in the public domain, so I can't speak to that. Politics is what it is, but it's interesting that the government could say what their position is, but then the other party to the agreement says, well, we're bound by confidentiality. How are you bound by confidentiality when when the public has now been told these are the reasons why we can't move forward? So let's have an honest, candid, frank discussion on the matter, because it's of national importance. This confidentiality excuse doesn't really cut it. It's almost like the same way that the previous administration on the eve of an election signed an agreement telling us that everything was sorted and it was a plug and play and we can go from there. That was a lie. That was never the case. So we need to understand from both parties exactly what has been spent, where things broke down, how long they've been breaking down, and how we've reached this point, because it's a truckload of money that the government's going to have to pay out. We need to understand what was given by the previous administration to dart the other side of the equation in the deal, because now Cayman has nothing to show for it. Somebody has won, and it wasn't the Cayman Islands government, and it definitely wasn't the Cayman Islands people. So we need full transparency, full disclosure, and we have to stop hiding behind confidentiality clauses when the government have just finished telling us this costs too much, and these are the reasons why we pulled out. That's what I think.
I want to know what research they have done and who has told them that they can get a comparable facility for cheaper than that. That's what I want to know, because I can tell you one thing. One thing I know for sure is you're not going to get the kind of facility that we were looking at for what they think. I mean, I don't know what cheaper means to them. Now they're going to waste another 5 to 10 years, and that alone is going to cost us more. You see anything in this world going down? Right. You see anything in this world going down in price?
No, Sandy, you're absolutely right. I have no reason to argue any of the points that you're making, but I'm going to also say this. It is ridiculous for anybody to assume that waste to energy was going to be the solution when the company that was going to allegedly buy that service, CUC, never agreed to anything. So how do you put together a proposal for something when you can't line up the stakeholders and the end users who will basically buy whatever the energy output was supposed to be, because they couldn't agree a price on anything? So there's a lot of things that have gone wrong in this process that need to be disclosed to the general public, because I can say that I want to I want to lose weight, but if I don't go walking every day or do some exercise or give up ice cream or whatever, all that is a pipe dream. And so it's a bad example, but it's the truth of we can say a lot of things, but there's a process that has to take place. And right now, nobody in the general public understands how this went wrong. Yes, this government might have pulled the trigger, but the deal was bad from the get-go. Because if you can't get the third party to commit to buying the energy output, this was never supposed to go down the road this far. That's just how it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All
Brownie
righty.
time. Link up.
It's a hot mess.
Bye.
I don't know. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, boy, I tell you. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, it's like they sit in cabinet and make these decisions that they then notify us of. And as Ms. Pat said, data. What happened to data-driven decisions? Based on what? What makes you think that you're going to get it cheaper? Because Chris Saunders told you that? That's who y'all believe in these days? He was deputy premier and finance minister. Ask yourself, what did he accomplish for the 2.5, almost 3 years that he was in that position, other than trying to grab women by the pussy? Right? That's all he was trying to accomplish. Bright young man. Had high expectations for him, and look at what he went in there and was doing. Wasting time doing that kind of foolishness and wearing platform shoes because you think you have an issue being too short. This is the kind of foolishness that these people are wasting their time and energy on. That's why I highlight it and address it. Right? I saw his message that he sent out yesterday. See, I told y'all it was going to be too expensive. What's the alternative? I told y'all to mark this day down in your little black books. This government has made a huge mistake. They're making decisions in a vacuum with no real information. Oh, yeah, we can get it cheaper based on what? What makes you say that? Who have you engaged inside or outside of the civil service to show you on paper the evidence of what you can do and how you can do it cheaper? Cheaper how? Because one thing I know for sure when it comes to money and the cost of living and inflation, ask yourself if life was cheaper 18 years ago when they were talking about doing a facility from then versus now. Where do you think it's going to be in another 10, 15, 20 years? It doesn't get any cheaper. It gets more and more expensive. And besides the financial cost, there is a cost to our people. Our health, our well-being is at stake. Mount Trashmore is not just an eyesore. It's not just about, Dart should have known when he built next to it. Every single time there's a fire, and one's coming, because it always happens quite coincidentally, they've been trying to keep them under radar. The dump is always on fire. You guys do know this. It's just that the fires don't come all the way to the top where you can then see the plumes all over the place. Do you know what that puts into the atmosphere beyond Cayman Bay? And what all of us have to breathe? You know the dangerous chemicals that are burning, the tires that are constantly burning, even when you can't see it? The pollution that is being put into the air? Do not kid yourselves. We got ground seepage of chemicals. We got air pollution, no proper recycling facility. Government can't even put up a glass. Remember the other day when DART, their machine that was crushing the glass, and then people could reuse it, mix it with concrete, and do all kind of stuff with it. Remember when that was taken away, and you're all like, "Oh, well, what happened to this? Where's this machine gone? It's no longer there." It's no longer there because we got a bunch of fucking idiots running the country. Okay, those machines have a life cycle. These are same people now that we can trust to be able to move waste energy forward. Those machines have a life cycle. DART informed government, well, our machine that we own and a service that we're offering to the community at no charge, it is coming to an end. The government knew that. And what did they do? Did they procure a new machine? Did they engage in conversations with the DART organization to say, okay, your machine is coming to its life cycle. Can we talk about, getting a new machine? Maybe we can go 50-50 on it. What are we going to do? Nobody had a conversation. It was when it disappeared and y'all were taking your glass bottles now to drop off. You're like, standing there with your box of glass. Where's the machine? Oh my God. Let me post it on social media. Women's group came in. Whatever happened to that machine? Our government, who we must now trust with a waste energy facility that they know what the fuck they're doing because they claim that they're going to save us money, allowed a singular machine that was there for some 10 years being run by private organization to go and disappear, and that's it. And we must trust them to try and save us money? When have they ever saved anybody money? Data-driven decisions, Miss Pat. I would like for somebody to show me when government has ever, and I do mean ever, taken on a project that they have been able to complete within time and most importantly, within budget. They have never successfully done it. So why would we think that this waste energy project is going to be any different? This is where now you really got to be blind, dumb, and deaf and stupid to believe these people when they tell us this kind of foolishness. Kathy, I don't believe you. You don't even believe you. That's how bad it is. Save us money, how and where? What is the game plan? Why are you really scrapping this? I'm not here to say that this was a perfect solution, but my God, after 20 years, can we get something done in this country? Look at the airport. Over budget. Didn't get a lot of things that we wanted. Oh, because they're trying to cut corners. They're trying to save money. You see what government cutting corners and still over budget. That's why we didn't get the what are the things called that would take you straight to the plane? We didn't get them because we don't have the money, but we have $50 million to give Julie for black school. Okay, so we don't get those. Every time it rains, the planes can't go nowhere. People don't want to get wet. You're slipping and sliding all over the tarmac. Yes, but these are people who want to save us money. Well, you know what happens when they save you money? The airport leaks. Brand new extension and airport. And every time you get a good water, you have to put buckets all over because, yeah, they're going with cheapness and not quality because they claim that they wanted to save us money, but it was still over budget. They hire people to work on these projects that it doesn't even make any sense. Subcontractors who are less than desirable are building these government homes. Y'all don't remember about the last set of government homes that y'all had them build down in Windsor Park? You couldn't even fit in the bathtub because apparently they built it for midgets. Everything was like small scale for midgets. Have they looked at the Caymanian population recently? None of us not midgets. We need double extra wide doors, a lot of us. They rusted out and fell apart. The sad thing is, we could have found Caymanians, qualified Caymanians, to build those homes and would not have had that problem. They would still be standing today. They had to be condemned, post-Ivan, uninhabitable. But yeah, they want to save us money. Government gets it wrong. I can point to more times of government getting it wrong than them getting it right. And so excuse me for questioning and being skeptical when they come talking about, oh, they're going to kill a project from an organization that has a proven track record. I'm just saying. You see anything DART bill falling apart? The only thing we've ever been able to cuss DART about that was not to standards were those mini-size cabanas on beach that have never been used for vendors. And here's the biggest joke. Government, civil service, gave DART the specifications and the sizes of what they wanted. You see how we can waste money? DART would have never built nothing like that if it was up to them. They built little cabanas, vendor cabanas, that most vendors can't even get their bonke in because they're Caribbean people with a big bonke. And to this day, the vendor village has never been set up because of it. Because nobody can fit them. You can't put nothing in there plus a person. Okay. But this is a government that tells you that they want to save you money. But there's another example of wasting people's time and resources for something that ended up you can't even use. Everything else the DART organization builds, they can put up an entire, I don't even know how many stories that new building is. That might be 8, 9, 10, whatever. High quality, no safety issues. I mean, give the devil his due. They have a track record. But no. Make the government do it. The government wants to, they want to take the lead on this so that they can help all their little political lackey friends now. Yeah? They can have people like Philip Hydes building the government homes, and when the people move in and they start leaking through the walls and leaking through the ceilings, and they have a mortgage to pay on these homes that aren't fit for purpose, then they're going to be like, oh, well, we were saving you money. That is not how you save money. Philip says you can't even get into the airport without getting wet, much less get on the airplanes. The parking lots are full every holiday weekend with nowhere to park. And Lord forbid you try to use the machines to pay out of the parking lot. Don't tell me they can't find better machines. Again, government. This is what happens when you allow them to lead. Right? They have record after record after example of making really, really, really poor decisions. Darlene says giving our people a bunch of slop and lining their pockets. Andrew, good morning. I was involved with sending off the scrap metal off island to Colombia 2 years ago, and the amount of trash that has accumulated since then is unbelievable. We have about 100,000 people in Grand Cayman, producing approximately 2 to 3 tons per person of garbage waste now. And we have electric car, battery, scooter, bicycle, which is a very dangerous thing for our environment. It's a hot mess. Morning, Jessica. Philip says that they should have bought the land around the airport years ago. Now they can't even grow. Shaking my head. John says kayak 10 stories, not high quality as no tenants. What does that mean? That they don't have tenants? What does that have to do with the build quality of the facility? And I'm pretty sure they have quite a few tenants in there. Philip says $80+ million building an airport and never thought to change the park and pay machines, pave the long-term parking, or even a covered walkway to get to the parking. It's embarrassing. And yet they're always claiming that they want to save us money. John says next time, get Panton on the show. All of this, well, he's in the LA at the moment, but we will definitely, several of you have sent some questions in, and we will certainly be sending those directly to him. This person said government is pissing on our legs and telling us that it's raining. Lord Jesus. No, sir. Someone said they could have put solar panels on the parking lot as well, but no. Anyway, I need to go eat some of that nice chocolatey thing that's that is in my kitchen. This person said our government should not have allowed Dart/Health City to build a hospital or a school there. Years ago, they had a foreign lady in charge of her dump that wanted to start recycling, but our government did not allow that. Well, let me be very, very clear. A waste to energy facility goes way beyond just recycling. You see, again, our elected officials are going to these waste to energy facilities, and you, the people, have no concept of what that is and what that means. The recycling that you have in your head is about 25 to 30 years old in terms of what should be happening. But of course, they don't share this information with us. So the big question is, how would you know? You'd have to go out there and do some research on your own. Not to say that you're not capable of doing that. But wouldn't it be something if they could actually show us what a modern facility looked like? What would be the harm in that? So that we could manage our expectations. A singular person trying to set up recycling because she's running the dump is not going to cut it. Denny says we need a clean sweep in the legislature. Well, I'm going to say probably about 90% of what is there now needs to be swept out. But we can't sweep it out for something worse or no better. That is the problem. So I'm going to put out a challenge today. Some of you are maybe listening to this program and you've been contemplating your life decisions and what you're going to do. You maybe want to throw your hat in the ring. Please have an honest discussion with yourself and see if you are really up to the task of being of service to your people. Don't come forward if you're bankrupt and you're broke and you're busted. You're too much of a liability. I'm sorry. Don't come forward if you've never accomplished anything in your own life to say, hey, here's an example, even on a personal level, where I have been able to do this, put my mind to something, dedicate myself to something for a couple of years and accomplish something. Don't waste your time. Don't waste our time. It's not going to make any sense. You can't find a job. You're unemployable. Politics is not how you gain employment. You should be someone that people actually want, an asset to private sector, to your community. That's the kind of people that we're looking for public office. We don't need people with larger than life egos, busted bank accounts, with attitudes to boot, right? Narcissistic personality disorder, users and abusers, womanizers, grabbing people by the pom-pom. We don't need anything like that. Please go sit home. Sit down. In the words of Eminem, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Will some real good candidates please stand up? Yes, Miss Pat, come ready. And Natasha says, I'm going to run so I can find out what skeletons are in my closet. Come ready. We got some serious things that we need to get done in this country. Education is busted and broken. We don't see a single MP talking about the report that came out the other day, talking about how in elementary school our kids are failing. We're not even getting them to middle school. The elementary school system is failing our children. Them can't read and write. How do you expect to compete in a world that is going to be driven by intelligence, by AI, by technology, when your people don't even have the basic skills? We've had the same Minister of Education for the past 8 years. Now listen to me carefully. Don't tell me no bullshit that, oh, the politicians can do this, that, and the next thing. That's funny. Because when they're motivated to do something, they go to Franz Manderson and they put pressure on him to remove and to move chief officers. So if you can do it to get your way with the Regen Project, if you can do it to get your way with the environmental destruction that you want to cause by not having an EIA, right? And tell him to move Jennifer Ahern again and again, move this next one again. It's been done countless times. Isn't it funny how you can't do it when it's actually going to benefit the people? You can't put pressure on France to do something about the non-performing civil servants, but the ones that you don't like for other reasons, because they're not going to support your ridiculous agenda, even at the chief officer level, you manage to be able to move those people? Explain it to me. Because the politicians want to tell you on the one hand that they don't get involved in the civil service. They don't have any control over the firing and hiring of civil servants, so they claim. But again, we've seen a track record of them doing exactly that. You can't have it both ways. It's either or either. All right. 10:30. We got to get some work done around here because we got bills to pay. It's Friday. I'm going to wish y'all a good and safe weekend. This is just the beginning, folks. I mean, listen, sometimes there's a lot that I do not say about some of these people, right? And I know in the background, they be trying to put all kind of pressure, both directly and indirectly on me. And let me tell you something. My head has never taken me yet, thank God. Y'all see me, oh, Sandy popping off today, but I listen, I might pop off for a minute, but I'm still cool as a cucumber, I might curse and tell y'all about your backside, but that's all right. Now, nothing wrong with that. Y'all need it. But I know that going into this election, some of them like, oh, people really listening to Sandy. We can't have that. We have to find out how to take her off the radio. All kind of stuff they're trying to plan. But let me tell you something. My birthday coming up. I'm a Leo. Don't forget it. I've been knocked down, rolled over, pushed down, everything in my lifetime. And one thing I know is I always get back up. When it comes to fighting for my country, my people, the future for my daughter, nobody not gonna fuck with me when it comes to that. I don't give a shit who you are. From Premier straight down. She can talk about me all she wants. She can tell people, oh, don't do any advertising on it. That not gonna stop me from eating. That not gonna stop my road from helping people see the truth. I feel sorry for you that you even have to resort to those types of tactics to try to control the narrative in this country, because it's not going to work. There's more than one way to slice a piece of cake. And where there's a will, there's a way. The ways in which they're trying to put pressure on people not gonna work. Because y'all soon get some news about how we gonna bust out around here. And then you're gonna know. Don't be fearful. I mean, listen, there's nothing to fear when it comes to me. I'm just having open conversation, open dialogue. What's the problem? Telling people the truth. Some of it y'all be hiding and, no. Let's put it all in. Let's put all the cards on the table. Let the people decide, because once the people have the truth and they know what's really going on, they can make better decisions. But y'all be lying and conniving and hiding who you are and trying to fool the people. You're not fooling us. Robert and Miss Stacy, refill the cup quick. There's nothing in my cup but good old-fashioned water, child. She did make some sorrel and rum, but y'all know I don't really drink, so. But listen to me carefully now. On a serious note, I'm here and I'm not going nowhere. God's willing, not going anywhere. But you all have to stand up too, because I know y'all love to be called on. Oh, Sandy, I need you to say this and that. Your voice needs to be heard, because this is not. I'm not the champion of all things. I will help you. Yes, the platform is amazing and it reaches a lot of people, but you guys have to start using your own voice. Because every single time, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Mr. Dexter. Thank you, Johan, all the regulars. Thank you, Denny. Every single time you guys call into the show and you let them see what you're all about, right? They see some shows with all 500-600 comments and they say, boy, these people really are not afraid of us anymore. Why are you afraid of people that you put in a position, that you hired? They work for you, not the other way around. You need to start holding them accountable. And when they're doing their foolishness, you need to say, not today, Bobo, not today, TD. The same way you voted them in, you can vote them out. That is the ultimate power. Don't let these fools tell you that you don't have no power. What Mr. Wayne Panton call them, the cabal or whoever it is that trying to control them with political donations and, oh, we'll take care of your constituency. We'll do all this kind of stuff. They're not the ones who should have the power. And if we have allowed that to happen, I tell you what, it been going on too long. Not a single developer, I don't care how much money they throw at them, can get anybody elected if you, the voters, are not going to the polls and putting a little X next to their name. So you got to make sure that you make your X count, right? Don't allow them to come and buy you no marl. Tell them your mall road is well paved by CMR already, paved with information. No sofa, no refrigerator, no turkey and ham. Y'all so damn cheap. Like my aunt always say, Topsy, where you at this morning? Georgetown. Like she always say, food, that's like a waste. How can somebody buy you with food? Couple hours later, you go shit that out anyway. She from East End, y'all. She'll tell you like how it is. That is what y'all being bought off with. A little turkey, ham, fruit cake, even worse. Giving you diabetes about fruit cake. Don't sell out your country to Foreign nationals who want to jump on you and marry you for no good reason. Marriage is a convenience. Don't sell it out for no good politicians who have no loyalty to you. Let's raise the bar. Today is July the 26th. Listen, we're rolling into August. By the way, next week I'll be off. Not the week coming, but from Friday. So the following week, really, I'll be off, right? From the 4th. And I tell you what, we have not really heard a single word from any people who are going to be really challenging who's there now. And that has me concerned because what people think when an election is called and they got 2 months that they can come forward and be like, oh, vote for me. No. You need to come out now. August is almost here. As my good friend Al Ebanks would say, it's Leo season, honey child. August is here. Huh? What are you waiting for? What do you have to hide? Let the people get to know you from now. Decide early, commit to it, whether you're getting in or not, that time will tell. Commit to it and get in front of the people. Let the people take time to get to, Because you know what happens? One day you might sound good. Yeah, boy, she got sense. The more you keep talking, pump the brakes, honey child. Maybe not. You understand? That's why we need more than just convenient sound bites. We need you to be tested every single day for a good year. We need to hear from people. Because let me tell you something. One thing I've recognized with people, right? This is one of those old adages that proves true. People can prepare a little speech. Yeah, I'm a child, honey child. They come with their little speech and be like, oh yes, I'm gonna say this. But you test them over time in the truth of how they think and how they really feel about things. It begins to reveal itself. The more people talk, the more they reveal their inner true selves. So we need y'all to do a whole lot of talking, because what has happened in the past is that they had 1 or 2 little meetings if we were lucky, and we didn't get to test them. We didn't get to really ask questions. We didn't get to listen for sufficient enough time. And that's how they were able to fool us. So now, we as voters need to learn to do better, because ultimately this is all our doing. Like I said, we have elected and reelected some of these jokers for almost 30 years, some of them even more than that. And it's time to stop the nonsense. They're so brazen and so brave. They come to our faces and lie to us. Oh, I'm not going to run for office again, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. Finally, you're going to retire. A couple years later, they take you for a fool. Oh, no, God said I'm still needed. No, he didn't. Stop lying on the good Lord, because he never said no such thing. They change it up as though they've never even said it. If somebody can be so brave to lie to your face like that, why are you going to trust them with anything? Anyway, Natasha says, Caymanians, please stop selling your votes and for so cheap. Where's your self-esteem and integrity? Live Happy says, start your own show too. Don't just call. With your show, you can convey much more as well. Absolutely.
Cut.
In this day and age, I mean, some of y'all are like, oh, Sandy radio, costs money. Yes, I pay for the airtime, but guess what? You can start a social media show. People will listen. Philip says that people need to remember when they go into the voting booth, what you do there is between you and God. Take their gifts if you want to, but give the X to somebody else. If they're buying you now, they will do the same thing when they're elected. And in fact, they're going to do the opposite. As Damien says, they will buy you and then sell you. Sell your birthright. Sell everything that is supposed to be Caymanian. Denny says, Ma, road paved with information. Auntie Sandy, what a hot mess. Cassius says, I think that Caymanians don't have an appreciation for education. The evidence shows that. Poor reports on school performance, failing children, and no outrage from the parents. I rest my case. I mean,
Kaboom!
can't say nothing about that. That is true. We have not historically prioritized education, and there's a lot of things that we can point to that demonstrate that. And the parents that do, ironically, people will be so critical of us for trying to set standards for children and say, nope, my child not getting involved in that. They're going to stay focused. No, y'all want to be critical. Oh, they think they're better than us and this and that. And, no, it's not about that. Let's be let me be very, very honest, Cassius and other people listening to the program today. I stand where I stand, literally, because someone said to me, you're going to be held accountable in life, and we're going to have expectations of you when it comes to your education and when it comes to school. A young man reached out to me a couple of days ago, only 17 years old, so he's looking for a job. I said, young man, why aren't you continuing your education? You know what he said to me? Oh, but I'm finished with high school. I'm like, that's not what I meant. A trade school. You can go to UCCI for free. They're giving away associate's degrees. They have collaborations and programs with other institutions in the United States, in Canada, where you can go tuition paid, room and board paid. And our people have become so lackadaisical about their own education that we will not take up opportunities that are being afforded to us, and then we sit back and complain that other people are taking our birthright. Well, we're giving it away. That's the problem. I stand where I stand today because of the importance of education. Once you have it, nobody can roll up on you with no bullshit, because they'll try you all the time. You see, the education, the importance of it isn't about the piece of paper. It's about what you have to go through in order to get it, how you are tested, how you are taught, my apologies, to think critically. And that's important. So even now when an MP comes up to me and says something, I go, let me ask you some questions. I'm not going to take it at face value. Who are you? Bobo? You come with a high school diploma and you're the mouthpiece for what other people are telling you that doesn't make any sense. So when I say, wait a minute, but the law actually says, let's look at section 32A, they're like, okay. Well, yeah, okay, you're right. I'm going to concede. I'm like, you're going to concede? No, Bobo. You thought you were dealing with another Georgetown fool. That's what your problem was. I'm from Georgetown, but I don't know fool. So you thought you could come and say any kind of bullshit to me, and I'd be like, oh, really? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to just accept that. When I start asking questions and, oh no, hold on a second now, honey chat. Wait a minute. But this law book, this is my little daughter's book. This isn't really a law book, but just an example here. Oh, but wait a minute. This section, let me have a look. They didn't expect that. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe I'm not really understanding it. Yeah. That's why people can control you and they can't control me. That's the difference. Huh? How you gonna control me? No amount of money in the world can control my brain. I'm just saying. Because I have the capacity to make my own money. I don't need nobody to line my pockets. This is the importance of having your own education and skills. Look at this whole thing now zooming in. I mean, Lord Jesus. It's a good thing I got no blemishes, because you'd see I'm all here today. Seriously. When people know they can't control you, and they can't control you when you are a free thinker, when you ask questions and you don't just let people spoon feed you any kind of bullshit and be like, oh yeah, okay. Huh? Parents, have expectations of your children. It's not enough to finish high school. That ain't getting you nowhere in 2024. Sorry, it's not. Have your children be surrounded by excellence, because you would be surprised how that motivates them. Trust me, from my own experience, I became a different person when I was physically in a different environment. When I was in the US, and it's like, okay, you got to start studying, making the grades. And I'm like in honors classes, and I see people who come from financially dire situations, having a little lawn business on the weekend, hustling to try and find tuition money, applying for every single scholarship. That motivated me. I'm like, oh yeah, competition on. I did what I had to do. When you surround yourself with mediocrity, that's what you're gonna be. You're gonna be mediocre just like everybody else. So whether we're talking about this poor girl now, Akita, whatever the hell her name is, getting caught with drugs and all kind of foolishness, look at the company that she keeps. The company that you keep says a lot about you. Don't hang out and settle for friends and even boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, and wives who ain't going nowhere in their lives, who have expectations of nothing. Because the mere fact that you would settle for people like that to be around you speaks of your own character. You can adjust and change a lot of your life just by hanging out and around the right kind of people who are going to motivate you to do the right thing. Why do you think we have all these young people gang banging and sitting down smoking weed all day and doing nothing with their lives? Look at who they're hanging out with. Speaks volumes. Encourage your children to prioritize education. I told my daughter the other day, she's still learning a lot. She's only 7. She's going to be 8 in a couple weeks. And I said to her, I said, listen, I'm trying to explain certain life lessons to her now, even at her age. I said, your dad and I have worked very, very hard. We both come from humble beginnings, right? Middle-class families. I came from a poor family. My family was no middle class. They poor. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. That's the truth. They're poor. Okay? Nobody had no money to send me to no university. I had to find my own way. But I wasn't going to let nothing stop me. All right? I said to her, we've created a better life for you. So you will ask us for things that we may or may not give you, because you can't get everything that you want. We may or may not give it to you, but we're more likely to give it to you if you understand that you are rewarded for good behavior. You are rewarded for doing well in school. You are rewarded for following the rules. You're rewarded for being respectful. Right? So every time you want American Doll or whatever the hell it is, you may get it if your behavior is where it needs to be. If your grades and your aptitude and your altitude and all these things and your attitude is where it needs to be. That's how it works. You're rewarded for making good decisions in life. When you start making poor decisions, the opposite happens. You are going to be, this AI thing now, you are going to be having privileges taken away, right? You're going to be reprimanded. You're going to be put in time out, whatever it takes to show you that this is the kind of behavior that is unacceptable. That's right, Philip. You are known by the company that you keep. And I'm always surprised, even these so-called politicians hanging out with a bunch of crooks and drug heads and drug addicts and whatever. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm just a person of the people. No, you're not. You're really not. Honest to God, I mean, there's a reason why some of y'all have these stories circulating around you. How can you be a minister of this country and every time your name comes up in your district, people are talking about, oh yeah, he's a cokehead and drugs and he's been doing that his whole life. And you're a minister of government. I'm just saying. And people around you always getting arrested. for all kind of stuff. You got committee members always getting arrested, always in trouble. And you don't think that at some point people are going to go, you are known, as Philip said, by the company that you keep. Anyway, Lord Jesus, look at the time already. Be good. Natasha says that the Cayman Islands shipping offers a maritime scholarship in the field of naval architecture, marine engineers serving what? Application deadline is January the 31st. You know, the Chamber puts out a book. They probably have an e-book of it now. Every single year of all of the available scholarships in this country. And I can tell you that there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, I'm shocked at how many opportunities there are for scholarships and stuff. In the States, I mean, you got to hustle to try and get a little scholarship. Try to encourage our young people to really start to make some better decisions because, you know, what are we building all this for anyway? We can have the best waste management facility, but if every single Caymanian in jail for stealing and importing drugs, what sense did that gonna make? Anyway, thank you all very, very much. Have a fantastic weekend. Please be safe. Can we cut out the drinking and the driving and the nonsense stuff on the roads that killing off people? Half the population can be dead from road accidents or your cars so mash up. Natasha, everybody else, please enjoy your weekend. Please be safe. We'll see you guys Monday morning. So we'll have a show right up until next week, Friday. And then the following week, we're going to do our little family vacation. You got to take time for your family, folks. It's not all about work. As somebody said, I heard a politician, he had good sense, say this once, you know, I can't save my country and sacrifice my own children and, you know, sacrifice my family. You've got to have balance when it comes to that. And quite frankly, you know, I've only got the one daughter. So, you know, I'm going to give her the best of what I can in terms of my time. And, you know, it's important to spend time with them and to do things and activities with them. So this is her birthday trip and we're going to get out there and do, have a good time for a good week. I was thinking about maybe doing an hour in the morning. And then I said, nah, I'm taking the time off, honey chill. I'm really going to take the time off and just really, you know, focus on having some good family time. We're going to go and spend some time with other family. And yeah, we're going to have a fantastic time. No show for a week. Sorry. Y'all will be fine. And when I get back, then I'll see you. And then in October, we're going to do our annual couples trip, just me and Dad, enjoying ourselves and, you know, getting to spend time with each other because that's important as well. You got to work on your relationships. You know, it's easy to not work on a relationship. You've got to find the time to work on it. So thank you, Miss Jackie. She says, beginning from home, then schools, community, go Caymanians, take advantage. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Marella, thank you for the comment. She says, I'm not a Caymanian here, but I think Caymanians must protect their land and do not allow any person with money just to go there and buy it. In Honduras, you can't buy land unless you have residence or business investments in the country. What a mess. And Robert says, you're starting to damage our mental health with these trips. No, you take some time off too. We will have plenty of time. Mr. Amelia told me yesterday, you need to go back to doing the full 3-hour show. I said, Mr. Amelia, listen to me now. Look at the time. It's already 11 o'clock. We've had a 2-hour and then some show. We gone, where are the 3 hours? 3.5 hours. So there'll be days that it will, you know, the closer we get to election time now, the hotter it's going to get. And that's just how it is, honey chill. Because we're bringing you cold hard truth. All right. I feel like we need a good song this morning. One that will not block us, get us blocked. So how about the Well Done song? This is like a classic. This is like our theme song. Well done, Mr. Politician Man, because we're coming for y'all in the next election. Y'all better shape up and you better come straight, come good. Have a safe weekend, folks.
all the politicians them. Sure, inna your face them a smile up. Behind your back of money them a pile up. Try to start your business and them quick for spoil up. Hey, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Sibbly bang, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done such a great job selling out with country with your business plan. Well, you forget a round of applause for all the work you're doing. Decisions where you make will left the country in a ruins, yo. Strictly personal gain you're pursuing, so the tax rate higher than the planes where you're fluing. We gon' make you deal with the IMF, no we on a box side, none a sugar cane left. The hotels and the beaches, the Spanish them go screeching. Me no know how you do it, but all me have to say is well done, Mr. Politician Man. I must congratulate you. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done such a great job selling out with country with your business plan. What kind of plan? Which is to keep poverty and unemployment on the rise. Corruption and not to mention the lies. Election and when the tension arise, so you buy with Kentucky, not to mention the fries. Anything to secure your vote, and then you rob the people to secure your boat. We go to Thailand where the Chinese own. The whole Jamaica is a Chinese loan. I tell you, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Sibbly bang, well done, Miss Politician Lady. You done such a great job selling out with country and you still not pay with. But still if inflation was a test, you woulda get A+. So when me met the US, the exchange rate buck. Cause the dollar getting weaker and the solar light bill it woulda cheaper. But a JPS you prefer keep your Ebenezer. So you Scrooge from the ghetto people, where you starve and every year you buy a better vehicle. The things you do are beat with bad, but still you manage to keep your job. So me I tell you well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Miss Politician Lady. You done such a great job selling out with country. Come in like Humpty Dumpty now. Congratulate them, you know. Yeah, man, give thanks for the effort, you know. Yeah, man, enough things are not go on it, you know. But you them see it still, so we give thanks. Yeah, man. Gangster. Kabaka P.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.